Hi, everyone, and welcome to Book Club with Bay. I am Bay, and this is Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hi, Bay.
And this is other Bay. Say hi.
Hello.
Ow! And today if you hear whining or squeaking, Carbine's losing his fucking shit. But today we're talking about Red Tigress, the second book in the Blood Heir trilogy. We were gonna do this sooner, but we got delayed twice.
But so much happened.
Can you please not get the fuck off? So yeah, the second book in the trilogy. We're gonna go over everything, like all the characters and stuff. And I promise I'm not torturing my dog. He just wants to play. And so we're going to go over the characters again. We're going to recap the last book.
Yeah.
Because normally we do these in quick succession, but it's been a hot minute.
It's been a whole year, I think, right?
It's been over a year since last once we discussed this. So yeah. With all that being said, where do we normally start? Okay, we can do this. Ratings.
I got the first book too to be like really officially official.
The covers are just so nice.
Then this one's also embossed with like some filigree and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so ratings. Do you want to go first? Because I think you were the most excited for this book. I mean, like I think I was excited, but like
yeah,
I was real lit.
You were
real lit for this.
Oh no.
Carbine
not helpful.
I was McLovin' it. Up until the very end, and I just texted y'all a picture of my reaction to it when I finished. Book 2 bullshit sucks.
Okay, I will say your reaction was not to the thing that I laughed at.
What was the thing you laughed at?
There was a real House of Night feels to one conversation towards the end of the book.
I don't remember the specific one, but I do remember a moment.
Anna,
there was House of Night feels because of all the perspectives.
So
Anna and Lynn's final conversation.
I'm more with Bay because of how I'm not gonna obviously spoilers. This book club with Bay, not spoiler free book review with Bay.
And this book is new
because of how actually usually we're talking about books that are like 30 years old, but like because of how new this book is, actual spoilers. We're actually gonna be talking about the book Carbine. Why the bottle of all the things? There's 35 toys in here, but whatever. Anyway, I'm really sorry about this. He's a puppy. There's nothing I can do. This is just like this now. If it's really bad, I'll try to take the bottle away from him. But so just let me know if I need to actually do that. But I was expecting the ending kind of just because of the everything preceding it. Like, okay.
Yes, same here, but I was still unhappy.
Well, yeah, like I wasn't happy about it, but it's not as though it was unexpected.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm trying to remember before we get into ratings, kind of what we said last time about the first book, because I think we all reread it. And I think what we all said was like, this book is marked as YA. What are you?
Oh yeah, it's not. It shouldn't be YA because everyone's above that age range.
Ow! Everybody's above that age range.
Well, not just that, but the tone of the book is.
It's very not YA.
Yeah, it's very much not YA. Please don't chew on my chair. I'm sorry. And it's written better. The writing style itself is better than that. Overall written YA book is written for that age range. So better is not the right word. It's written for an age range older than YA.
Yeah.
Is a better way to phrase that rather than better as in quality wise. Cause
yeah.
Anyway, I think was our initial.
So in defense of that statement, a lot of YA, regardless of the target audience, is written very poorly.
Yeah.
So I think our reaction was generally we liked it. We had some feelings about it. Like, I think, did we say we thought it was like 3 stars? Is that how we put it? Why do I remember that? Okay. I don't know why I remember
I think we rated it higher than that if we gave it a star rating.
Yeah, because I remember us liking it a lot.
Yeah, we were all very pleasantly surprised.
I remember us having some, like,
we probably should have rewatched the old stream as well before.
Right? I
feel like I remember us having like a few issues here and there.
Yeah, which a lot of them though, I think we're looking for issues to discuss.
Yeah.
Right. But what I will say is I personally I liked this book more and less.
At the same time, same.
And part of it is that I really don't like booktube bullshit. and for those of you who don't know, booktube bullshit is when you take 2 characters, you make them fall madly in love, and then in book 2, for whatever contrived reason, they are not together and they're just pining for each other from afar, and we just have to sit around waiting for them to something. And
I will say though, one of my biggest complaints with this book is not even the contents of the book. Let me bring it up so I can actually read exactly what. Because I think we're in agreement, right, that especially after rereading it, because I thought I had forgotten the ending of Blood Air.
Mm-hmm.
But when it ended, Anna and Ramson, right? I keep on thinking Ransom, but it's Ramson. Yeah.
Yes, it is Ramson.
Yes. The 2 of them, they're like, we have to go do a thing, you know?
Yes.
We're going to go quest together because we're Team Us, you know? Like, but the description on Goodreads, I'm assuming it's also on the blurb, like it's the description everywhere for this. I don't know. But it's like Anna's only chance at navigating the dangerous world of her homeland means partnering with Ramson Quicktongue again. But the cunning crime lord has schemes of his own. And it makes it sound like she's like, God damn it, I have to partner up with this guy again. Like that's the tone of that sentence.
Yeah, but no, she has the feels for him and he's like completely head over heels in love with her.
Yeah, but also that's how they ended the last book. They're like, Quest 2.0, and they're like, fuck yes, Quest 2.0, let's do Quest.
Yeah.
And so, like, just the tone of that sentence, like, and that's one of my biggest problems. I went into this book feeling salty over just that one sentence.
Well, I mean, in fairness, the authors don't really blurb their own books.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not an issue with the book itself. It's just the blurb. I was so annoyed because it makes it sound like it's a reluctant pairing. Whether, like, they're separated at the beginning of the book for proper reasons, right? Because like
they had just separated. Like they were together right before the book started.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go do a thing, and he's like, I'm gonna go do a thing. We'll reconvene in an hour. Like, team high five, and they leave. But the whole time they're like, I don't know where Ramson is. I don't know where Anna is. We need to try and find them. Maybe I'll find them here because this is where we were planning to go.
Yeah.
So like the whole like.
There's no reluctance in them anymore. The reluctance was dealt with.
Now, the benefit of... Sorry.
Oh, just that... Oh, and he has schemes of his own. It makes it sound like his plans run counter to her goals.
Right. Yeah, and they don't.
And they're very complementary.
They're just...
And then they end up being one and the same.
They're just kind of different at a certain point, especially at the end of the book.
Right. And, I mean, one thing I will say is that... while this does have booktube bullshit, what we can be fair in saying is that you're not sitting around having them like be angry at each other for no reason.
Yeah. They're never mad at each other for no reason.
I will say one thing I really liked about this was she gets a bit upset / salty with him when he finds out, when she finds out who he is.
Yeah.
And she's like, you didn't tell me. And he's like, well, I told you like half a chapter ago. There's things I'm not going to tell you and that I'm just not ready to tell you, and you're just going to have to live with it. Like, they had that conversation like prior, and he's like, no, I'm not telling you shit. And she's like, okay, fine, I guess. And then she finds out she's a little bit mad at him, but next scene, she's still like, no, this is like, he's one of my
man.
kids.
My man.
You did not do a thing. And she's like, our mission, our goals are more important than my feelings. And she gets over her feelings pretty quickly. She's like, look, fair, like you weren't obligated to tell me this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if they even discuss it or if she just gets over it.
And to be fair, he did tell her his last name. Last book. He did technically tell her.
Yes. But no, I just like that though, because if this was a true YA,
she would be so fucking mad.
And the reason they weren't together at the end of the book, like the reason why they separated, was because he had to go find himself to try and find out how to be a better man for her in the future. And she'd be like, I'm so mad at you, but please don't go. But please don't you dare stay, but don't go. That's how a true YA would have that. Whereas this is she's just like, you're my man. And he's like, I am your man, but I'm going to have to be your man from afar.
Yeah, where it's like
for a bit.
Deuces. And she is a bit bitchy when she leaves, but that's also just her personality, which is fine. Because also, like,
and also
she's
upset with people being bitchy when they're upset.
Yeah, and it's like she's like, we just made out and it was glorious, and now you're just saying I'm gonna go live on a boat now. Go fuck up Curlin's men.
I know, like, that you and I have set up on this adventure together, and your kingdom is falling apart, and your aunt figure is like trying to have you killed, and your country is in civil war and stuff. But I'm gonna go. Like, he's got good reasons for going, but I can understand why she's just like, can't this wait?
Yeah.
Because
like,
also,
Curlin's
dead. Curlin's dead. So what's the fucking point? He got his revenge from book 1. He did it. Curlin was murdered by his hand. Who gives a fuck?
I laughed so much when he died.
Yeah, right? Because Ransom was just so happy that he pissed himself. He was like, yes, this is the best.
Yeah, like, wait, I want to find the actual quote, because just the way it was written, and I guess the way it was read, it was glorious. Like, it was what it was, and I enjoyed it. Wait, Here we go. Alaric Curlin, the greatest criminal mastermind of the Cerulean Empire, had died pissing himself. And it was just
so good.
What are you doing? Stop whatever you're doing, please.
It was a very Ramson thing to think, too. Just like, not, I got to kill the guy I wanted to kill. It's no, he died pissing himself. I am the best.
Yeah, like, the way it was read in the audiobook, it was just like, it was kind of just like a, I guess that's how that went. Like, kind of tone. Like, wasn't expecting, will accept.
How did the narrator say the Jaeger's name?
Jaeger.
No, Kai.
Caius.
Caius.
I just read the S as silent.
I was like Jaeger, like Jaeger bomb.
How is it spelled?
Kais. So I just read it as Kai.
I thought it was Kias.
Oh, Caius.
Yeah.
It was Caius. Yeah.
I think. Let me just open a random page and see if I can. Nope, that's Ramson.
Wait.
Come on, I need a Lynn chapter.
Because I know that this is an actual thing, so I'm actually gonna look and see if this is the correct pronunciation. Oh, wait, let's go with you.
But him and Lynn, I want him and Lynn to make out.
Same.
Yeah. Okay, the narrator pronounced it correctly.
Okay.
Because if Cerulean is obviously based on Russia, I don't know why, but I have feelings that what's the place that they go?
But
The
why did my brain just go bedraggled? I don't.
Good. It starts with a G. Where is Ray?
Bridgen?
Where?
That's where they go.
Where?
Are you asking where they go? So they go to
Yeah, like what's Ramson?
B.
Calling him.
It's Bridgen. Bregon. But I don't know if that's how you say it because Bregonian.
Bregonian is how they say it in.
Bregonian is Bregonian. I read that right, but I don't know how to say it, just like the country name without saying Bridgen.
I don't remember how they said it in the book now.
Let me. Now I need to read it. Like, do you have the text? Can you just type it? Because I can't search it because I don't know how to spell it. I need to see it, and then I might remember.
Bregan? But then Bregonian doesn't make sense if the E's long.
Burgone? Was it Burgone?
I think it was Burgone, yeah.
Okay, so that's how you say it.
I feel like that, and I'm only getting this from one thing. I feel like this country might have been based Germany because they say that 9 is the word for no.
I was looking in the wrong book for the name of the country. I was looking in Blood Air 1 and they don't really mention it, but a couple times. It's fine.
Yeah. I feel like that's based on Germany, but then with Caius, when I searched the pronunciation, it just said it was a French name. So I'm guessing that country is based on France, wherever he's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I do like I've got it all. Like my appreciation for just how
there. That's his name.
Oh, it's got a thingy. Okay.
It has the dot over there. Yeah. Found it.
Yeah,
I was looking in the wrong book.
I'm pretty sure that I denotes it's a new, like it's its own sound
syllable,
so it doesn't blend. Yeah. I with Jude. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm just going to add dots. There we go. Yeah, that means it starts a new syllable. So yeah, it's Caius.
Caius, okay.
Otherwise, it would be Kai or
Caius.
Ki. But yeah, it's a French name. So I'm guessing his country is based on France.
Yeah, because I was
getting an.
Oh, that's I keep forgetting that his mom is that
in French.
No.
Huh?
They're not umlauts in French.
Oh, okay. I don't know then.
Because there are I know there are in German.
Yeah, there are in German.
But I don't think there are over I's in German, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so there's the 2 dots over I's in French, but it's not called that. It's called a diaresis.
I've never seen that.
And it means that the accented vowel must be pronounced distinctly from the previous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because also his mom's name, Shamira, I think is how you say it.
Yes.
Which Stan, his mother. As soon as he was like, my mom is this, I was like, oh! Like, oh yeah, you're with the right person to find your mom. You're way too excited.
Oh, and that makes sense. That makes sense as well because the word naive is French.
Oh yeah, that's right.
As well.
Yeah. Also, umlauts don't go over I's; they only go over A, O, and U. So, anyway,
grammar or language advice from book club with Day.
Okay, son of a bitch.
So, did we actually do ratings, or did we just be like,
no,
we
just completely.
We
got into a rant.
You know what? I'm gonna fuck it. I'm just gonna do one. It's a really, really nice cup of hot cocoa. I said cocoa really weird then, but it was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah,
but I need something that makes me mad in the end. alcohol. It's really great until you get hungover and then you're really upset.
I'm going to combine them. I'm going to say it's like, so.
An Irish coffee.
Irish coffee.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say, like, so at Christmas time, we do like this thing. I don't even know, like, I forget like what kind of alcohol it is. A certain kind of alcohol that we put in coffee. I think it might be an Italian thing.
Is it Jameson? That's Irish, but
no, it's not. It's like a licorice, liqueur thing.
Is it Sambuca?
No.
Okay.
I forget what it's called.
I don't know then.
Because the bottles are always really gold, and nobody like goes and buys it.
They just have it.
It's just always there. So it's like a thing we do at Christmas, and it's really good. But like, if you drink too much of it, you don't feel super great like the next day. So yeah, so I'm combining your answers of like nice, hot, like this is really awesome, I'm really into it, and then also though alcohol can backfire at the end of the night if you fuck up. That's where we're going.
I was flipping through until I found the chapter that they kissed because that was that was the happiest moment of the book. It was so good. It was so there. I thought they were gonna kiss when he took her to that pool thing. Yeah, I was like, this is set up. This is fucking set up.
She makes me friggin' wait for it. Oh, this is completely off topic.
She waits until this much is left in the book for them to kiss. This much happens.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is the pain where they
takes fucking ever. But you know how we back like when we were up like at the 7 a.m. when we were whatever. So we were talking about the 1-star reviews for Moon Called.
Yes.
And we've gotten a lot of recommendations for this over the years. I'm sorry, this is just happening. I just tangent real quick. And so a lot of people over the years have told us to read the Dresden Files. And a lot of the 1-star reviews for Moon Called were like, I was told this like the Dresden Files. And it's not. They're so much better. And like, fuck this. I love the Dresden Files. And I know that the Dresden Files have a male main character. We've continuously talked about how we want to read an urban fantasy book with a male main character. And apparently the Dresden Files are much better than the Mercy Thompson books, according to like a 1-star review, which is like 2% of the reviews. But so I was curious.
Yeah. So
I'm reading it now. I'm vetting it because people have continuously asked us to read them. And I'm curious. So like I will report back and let you know if that's like a thing that we should dive into.
That's setting the bar pretty high, I will say. Setting the bar real high.
I know. Like, but I'm curious.
Addie, have you done Mercy at all?
I'm not.
Okay, make her.
We have a title for the 3rd book in the series.
What's it called?
It's called Crimson Rain.
Ooh. I wonder what that could be a reference to. I absolutely wonder.
Oh, did you guys see the powers taken away thing coming? The fact she doesn't have her affinity anymore.
From the moment they said that there was a thing that could do it, I'm like, I feel like this is going to be a thing that happens. She's going to get them back.
Oh yeah, of course she has to, because
if she doesn't get them back, then that's going to be where I'm shocked.
That would be a choice, though.
I think that would be awesome. I kind of hope she doesn't get them back. That's my hope.
Oh yeah, I would like to see how that goes. I'm not gonna lie, the part of me, once she lost them and it became clear the book was going to end without her getting them back.
Yeah.
I'm like, great, now we get to spend 2/3 of the 3rd book being like her being like, oh, what was me? If only I had thine power. But the book ended with her still being quite optimistic. So I feel like she's probably still going to have those moments, but she's not going to be wallowing in self-pity.
I think so too.
You know, that's something I really like about these books is like, so while I I don't enjoy booktube bullshit. It's my least favorite thing. One thing that I did like is that despite my annoyance with booktube bullshit, I was entertained the entire time.
Same here.
The booktube bullshit was never enough to make me go, I don't want to read this, because even though I was like, I'm annoyed that they're not together, I was still interested in what they were doing separately.
Exactly.
And which is always good.
Like as well,
to do booktube bullshit, at least keep me interested in what they're doing on their own.
Yeah.
And make me feel like it's worth it. And also like the Lynn stuff, I was a little like, and then I was like, oh, I'm interested. I was very, very interested in what was happening there. And kind of like the same thing with her losing her powers. Again, you're always nervous. You're always like, oh God. But her attitude, you're kind of like, okay, I can live with this. And it's one of those pleasant surprises where you feel like the author's handling it well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to just not be continuously frustrated with the character.
Well,
and yeah, so
I mean,
it's just
that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to add to that. I think what made the booktube bullshit palatable was the fact that even though it's booktube bullshit, the characters responded well to it. So like she when like at the end of the book, she wasn't just like brokenhearted over the loss of her powers and Ramson going his own way. She was like, look, I get that you need, like, she was a bit annoyed at first, but she was like, look, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. And
we'll
like also
again.
Both of them are like, listen, she's probably going to be Empress if Yuri doesn't succeed in his plans. Like, and he's just going to be in the covert navy of another country's. So like, was that the House of Nighty thing? Was that it?
No.
Where we saw?
No. Although I will say what just popped into my head as a descriptor for the moment with Yuri at the end was kind of like, I guess, Dallas catching Stevie Ray fucking a bird and going, fuck this, I'm evil now.
Yeah.
Yuri got that letter and he was like, fuck this, I'm evil now.
Yeah. Because he was like, no, I love her. She's one of my best friends forever. And then it's like, nope, fuck that bitch. Dead. Let's get rid of the monarchy.
He's like, there's no time for friends, only freedom.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no.
Yeah, Yuri was a little cartoonish throughout the whole. And it was kind of like, because from his like first appearance, you're kind of like, who it is?
See, I liked him fine in Blood Air. But it's just in the epilogue of this one, I was just like, I don't care what you want,
like, if only
buddy.
my second in command had actually assassinated one of my best friends. If only he had succeeded.
Yeah.
No, my House of Night moment was Anna's final conversation with Lynn, where Lynn was like, I'm going to go do, what's her quest for book 3? What's she doing?
She's escaping and reuniting herself with Anna because she's in prison. And
in the beginning?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying at the end, like, you know how she's splitting up as well?
She's like stalking you mean when she's stalking the king?
Yeah.
And she's finding the shit down below in the confines of the castle?
I'm saying like when she's like, I won't be joining you for your book 3 adventures because I will be doing my own book 3 adventures.
Oh.
And then okay, how do we say his name again? No, I've forgotten. Caius. Yeah, and Caius is like, I will follow you wherever because you are insert dramatic love speech, but not overly dramatic. It was a just dramatic enough speech.
That's right.
She's going back to her home country, yeah.
Yes,
but I can't remember what she's doing. But anyway, that's not overly important. When her and Anna are having that conversation, and then Anna's like, "Oh, you know, what'd be totes awesome when I'm Empress? You should be like the ambassador." And she's like, oh my God, I should totally be ambassador. That was such a House of Night moment where it's like, oh my God, you should be High Priestess.
Well, yeah, because it's like, you know, you're right. Because I thought I didn't. Okay, that's not what I thought you were talking about. But now that you say that, okay, yes, because and here's why. Here's why I agree with you. Here's why you're right. Because that's one of those moments where it's like, it's cute, but also like, is Lynn qualified? Is Lynn qualified?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously because their countries they're not buds, right? Their countries are the opposite of buds.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was she was going to go and see if anyone. I actually don't know. But for ambassador, you want someone that you have formed a friendly enough alliance with, not someone who you have formed a best friendship with whom the two of you have exchanged mutual life debts towards each other.
Yeah.
Because an ambassador should be concerned about country first, but you still need to be able to have a good conversation with them. So I feel like she's just like, hey, best friend, want to be my peeps to your peeps?
Yeah, so what Lynn said was, I'm going to go warn my government at home, and this is when what's his nuts is going. She's like, I'm going to go warn my home country, and then we should get an alliance, bro. That's
what it was. Yeah, it was. She tried to take over Burgoyne, but like that, what's going to stop her from going to my country and doing the same thing?
I also
who did not see.
This short little chapter gave me so much life, where it's when she gets pushed off the edge and Caius is just like,
he gets his own chapter of 3 paragraphs.
He's like, I'm going after my bitch.
Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, who didn't see their storyline coming? Like just the general feel of it from their interaction in Blood Air.
Literally, as soon as they interacted the first time, especially in this book, the first time they interacted, I was like, they gonna fuck. It's like, so they gonna fuck, right? They better. It was the exact same thing as with Ramson and Anna. That first chapter, I was like,
yep, that's the ally. He's
it was like, so
boink.
So they go boink, right?
But I don't care because it was fun getting there. It was fun.
It's a fun.
Then that's the thing. Like, if you can predict something, but you still enjoy it, like you enjoy getting there. Then, I think you've said this like a bunch of times. I don't care about predictability. Predictability doesn't bother me at all. Like, entertain me. Dance monkey dance. I don't
dance monkey dance.
I found his.
Yeah.
I found his dramatic, but not overly dramatic, especially considering the feel of the book. Like the
do you guys remember last period when it was like, you're my light in the dark? And
Ramson said that to Anna, I think.
Yes, and you guys texted the boys, and you were like, hey, you know what? I have one now. Excuse me.
Wait, you have to get the exact quoting.
And somebody look it up on a.
Which one is it?
Wait a second.
It's
she
can look in Blood Air, and it's like, am I
look it up
in the darkness?
Yeah, give me 1 second because I need to open up Finder.
Because I couldn't do it last time, so in honor of that.
Where are my books? There's my books. Blood Air.
It's going to be confused and annoying.
Okay. Light in the. It's searching.
There was some line, because I was reading this on vacation with my dad, my uncle, and my boyfriend, and there was some line at the end of a chapter where Ramson was thinking about Anna, and I just like looked at Christian and I just like said it to him, and he was just like, "This is disgusting," and my dad was just like, "Stop! What are you doing?" This was the day he said "boink" at the dinner table, and I cried with laughter.
Okay, I'm struggling to find this quote because light in the dark is not what he said, apparently. Where is it? It was towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, because that's when he started to have feels. I'm trying to find the
so,
quote that I said.
Yeah.
I think it was after.
Okay, so here we go. Light. Actually, you know what? I might just search my text messages and see if I can find what we sent, because I know we sent the exact same thing. No. It wasn't light in the dark either. Okay. I've got no idea. I've got no idea.
Night or something.
Light.
If it was was it like the last chapter?
Don't know what it was. I don't know. I've got. Fuck. What was it?
Hold on.
I've got no idea what the fuck he said to her. None.
No, whatever it was not in the last chapter.
Yeah, got
I'm
no
trying to find
idea
the cringy thing I said.
I don't know what he said to her.
Can you send me the EPUB?
Oh, it's in the drive. If you've got that. But whilst we find that, I'm going to read the not overly dramatic quote from dramatic but not overly dramatic quote from Caius. I will go wherever you will go. I pledge my swords to protect you, my shields to defend you. I'm just like, that's kind of cute. Like,
it was really, it was very oath. It was just an oath, and I loved it.
See, and that's how you do an oath with it being dramatic without it being like
I like House of Night.
I don't know, House of Night. I mean, I feel like also maybe the time period of, like, you know, this is set, you know, pre-cars, for example. Like, there's swords and horses and...
Mm-hmm.
Do we even have horses?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause, I just can't recall a horse ever. Oh, I guess they pulled carriages. Oh, yeah, no, now I remember horses. But yeah, it's that kind of feel. So it's not weird for someone to be like, I pledge my swords to you.
Yeah.
But
I guess we should, since we're like 40 minutes in, should we talk about characters? wait, we haven't even finished ratings. Do we stand? And how whelmed are we?
Absolutely.
Absolutely stand.
Yeah, we stand.
But how whelmed?
I don't feel like a whelming rating system works with this, because whelmed feels like I just was apathetic to it, but I wasn't overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But I wasn't underwhelmed.
Yeah. It was a good time.
But I wasn't whelmed.
There's a fourth option, and it's just I had a good time.
Yeah,
that could be our fourth option.
We'll go with that one.
Okay, so characters. We'll start with our MC Anna. Mm-hmm. She's the princess to the Cerulean Empire. Anastasia Mikhailov.
Mikhailov, thank you.
Is it really?
Yeah, and what's her middle name again? Katyana. Yes, Anastasia Katyana Mikhailov. heir to the
heir to the Cerulean Empire.
Yes, and she is the Coast Princessa, but every single time it's said in the audiobooks, I hear it as Ghost Princessa, not Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, Pay, but I can't hear Coast. I hear Ghost. Yeah, whenever they're like Coast Emperatoria and Coast Princessa, I just hear Ghost, and I'm like, this makes no sense. Why are they the ghost? Why is she the Ghost Princess?
But she's supposed to be the Empress right now because her dead brother named her Empress, but her bitchy aunt is trying to take over the country and did take over the country. So there's that. She was a blood aphanite, which means she can control people's blood and like fling them across rooms and shit. Pretty cool. Pretty OP.
And she's learned how to do more stuff with this book.
She learned how to heal. Oh, so proud of our little girl. She's like what, like 19 or something, 19 or 20.
Yeah, something like that. She's also learned how to make like blood knives.
Yeah, dude. She got some cool powers from Caius. Because Caius taught her, because since he's a Jaeger, which a Jaeger is an aphanite that can control other people's affinities. It's very fun.
Yeah. And sends them in the first place, obviously.
Then we have Ramson, our good old con man. He was in the Burgonian Navy until he came to Cerealia, and he was a con man. Anna rescued him from jail. It was a whole thing. And then they fell in love on their adventures, but neither of them have said it, except for him and his brain to his dad. He did tell his dad that he loved her, technically. Look at that cute puppy.
I'm just going to text Dixie to take him out.
He is obsessed with killing his old master, Alaric Curlin, who was like a ship master dude, harbor master. He was a smuggler. He smuggled aphanites. And yeah, Ramson wants him dead because Ramson got him in jail and tried to kill him multiple times. It was a whole thing. Lynn is a wind aphanite, and she can fly. It's pretty cool.
But only if she has her. What the fuck are her cheese?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And she and Caius are probably going boink one day. At least we all hope so.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Caius is Caius had Caius is interesting as well because he's the Jaeger that identified May, took May, which resulted in May dying.
That's right.
And then he's the one that almost killed Lynn at the end of the last book. But like you could tell at the end of the last book, he's like, "Wow, I'm impressed with you."
Yeah,
yeah.
I like your spirit.
Yeah, I like your style, girl. And so yeah, Lynn was contracted by, was freed by Ramson Anna and the leader of the rebellion, whose name is Yuri, who's a childhood friend of Anna. And then,
yeah, wasn't he like a baker boy at the castle or something?
Yeah, he was the baker boy or something. And
he's a fighter aphanite.
God, Otto. So then Ramson contracted Lynn to like protect Anna just in case. And now that's how Lynn joined the party.
Yep. And I can remember as well, last book, like when we did the first one, like we weren't sure if like Lynn was actually like good.
Yeah, but
Lynn to be like bum bum bum.
We like Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good egg. She can stay.
She can.
But you know, did we talk about what's her name, Morgana?
Morgana.
She's not really in the book. Yeah, she's in the book for like a minute. But she's important.
You're all wearing blue. Yes, that's because I was wearing black and I hopped in here and I said, "You're wearing blue. I'm changing."
Yeah.
So we're all wearing blue.
Instead of like one of us being like, "Oh, we're all matching. Somebody has to change." We're all like, "We're not matching.
Conformity
has to change."
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's for mine and Bay's blue was incidental, and then Addie came in. She's like, I need to be part of it. That's what we do.
That's like a nice gradient of blue as well.
Yeah, like I have a really like deep navy, nice little center blue with some accents in there as well, and you got nice light blue. Like we're killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the right order for it.
Yes.
But Morgana is like her aunt, Anna's aunt or something like that, and she killed her father and her brother.
Actual aunt, like her
yeah,
mom, like adopted her as a person in her life type thing.
Yeah. And then she killed Anna's father, which Anna was accused of killing her own father, but like that was last book. And in actuality, it was Morgana who killed Morgana. She has a Y in her name, so that's why I was confused.
It's a Morgana. Might be Morgana then.
Might be Morgana. That's how I always thought of it.
I don't remember it being pronounced that way.
I'm sure when we reread it again for next book.
For the final book.
Because we'll have to reread the whole thing.
We'll have to reread the entire series, yeah.
This is fine. Like, necessary to redo everything.
Yeah.
And at least it's not a painful experience, I will say that.
Yeah, at least it's an enjoyable read. Like, I really enjoyed rereading Blood Air.
I think I enjoyed it more the second time. Because I was kind of confused.
Well, you can relax more the second time you read it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I wasn't sure how that would go because sometimes, like on a second read, it just doesn't live up to the first time, and you're like,
yeah, no, it was good.
It was good.
Time. It was better and like more relaxing the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, she can control people's minds and flesh. I think she can do more fleshes at once, but she can only do one mind at once.
Yeah.
Wait, one sec, sorry.
But she has essentially cooed her way into being the Empress of Cerealia right now. So that's our big bad.
Yep.
Is that all the characters?
Basically.
Huh?
Did we get Yuri?
Oh yeah, kind of.
We got Sister Dearest.
Sorsha.
Yes,
I just wanted to read her name as Sasha. But no, it's Sorsha. I hate it. She was a psycho. She was absolutely.
Oh, you should have heard her freaking voice.
Sorsha
sounded like a psychopath.
She did. Sorsha was one of the characters. Okay, and maybe I'm going to ask you this: was she less cartoonish on the page?
No, she was still pretty cartoonish.
Okay. Sorsha was like the one.
I think that's just her personality, though. I think that's just who she is.
It did kind of take me out of it a little bit, though. Like
because her voice,
immersion, just her personality and everything. Because you go from all these like pretty 3D characters to just like welcome, like you're like.
Well, I don't know. I kind of enjoyed having just an off the wall Joker kind of lady in there.
Yeah, her voice was in the spirit of like Harlequin. I feel.
Yeah. It was a bit like it was fun, but it was like, okay, that's a vibe.
Well, we know she's coming back next book because they didn't find her dead body. So, but yeah, that's Ramson's half sister.
Yeah. And I'm glad
she
didn't string that out too much. It wasn't like, like we found out pretty soon after meeting her that she was.
We find out like right away.
Yeah.
Like it was like about a minute into the conversation. She was like, brother.
That is another nice thing about this book is like you're never pitter-pattering around, like wondering what's going on. It doesn't waste your time.
Yeah. I guess we also have Ramson's Daddy Dearest.
Oh yeah.
Literally Daddy Dearest, because that's what Sorsha calls him. Daddy Dearest and Brother Dearest. When she goes like full crazy mode. She's just like running around. Like she gave me Joker vibes.
Yeah.
That's what she gave me.
So Dad's still a dick, although it's like I don't know if just trying to redeem him or just like make his character more complex. Of like, look, I fucked up, because he admits that he actually loved Ramson's mother and stuff, and that he buried her nicely and very.
I think it was to
prettily.
add complexity.
I think it was because I think it was like I don't because if Ramson had been like, oh, he did love her, all is forgiven, then I would have been like, oh. You know, Ramson's like, look, you're still a dick, but you buried her nicely. I guess this is a nice spot.
Yeah, he's like, oh, good for you, I guess.
His dad's personality is essentially never fall in love because it makes you weak. And he's like, I can see you're in love with Anna and you're a dumbass. And it's just like, okay. I think, what is his name? Ronald?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, somebody's been listening to me.
Rolled. Yeah.
Like, sorry. But,
I'm just trying to think of his name because it was always said in conjunction with his last name. So I was like, Roll Farrell.
Yeah.
Roll Farrell.
I'll find it.
But,
I got it.
Yeah. Also, first time we meet the king of Burgoyne.
Oh, yeah.
You just knew what was happening, right? Especially after immediately reading Blood Heir.
Roran. It's Roran.
Roran Farrell. Yeah, like it was just like shit's been poisoned. King's been poisoned, and I'm like, we can't be doing another poison storyline. But it turns out he was just faking being poisoned, but because they were trying to do it, so he was pretending he was. I'm like, okay, well, I can live with that. At least it's changed it up a bit. But
poor little boy King.
Pretty badass for a 14-year-old.
Yeah. It was basically being shadow ruled by
Daddy Dearest.
By Daddy Dearest.
Reminded me of somebody.
Roran.
That's
King Ramson's dad.
The 14-year-old.
Hmm?
A ruthless little 14-year-old reminded me of somebody. Reminded me of Jorg a little bit, like just the.
I haven't even read it, and I knew you were talking about him.
Not like a lot, but
no, yeah, because this guy actually seems to have some moral. He seems to have a bit of moral to him.
But I was like, aw.
But yeah,
he's a good egg. Like he can.
He is a good egg.
He is a good egg.
I think that's everyone. I mean, there's some side characters that Ramson's working with as well, but like I don't think they're going to be important. They're basically spies for him.
Yeah.
So I don't think.
I mean, there are some other side people we meet along the way. Like we talked, like Yuri was he's a big character this book.
He's like a big character just in the background. Like
he was a bigger character last book.
Yeah.
He was mentioned a lot more last book as well.
Yeah.
I feel.
This book, he really does 180. Like, it's a hardcore.
And I don't know, like, why. Because he's just like...
His mother was murdered.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
His second command is also messing with his head, though.
Yeah.
So we had that scene in the epilogue of him showing him memories of his mom dying.
Yeah.
So his second in command.
I will say, we can't be too critical of whatever emotions he has without kind of being a little bit hypocritical because we defended Aphrodite's mother.
That's true.
Not the point. Not the point.
And his mother was actually a likable person. Unlike Aphrodite's dad, who was a dick. Like, I think I'd be kind of cranky. But, I guess, are we going to do plot? Or are we just going to discuss general?
I think we can do basic plot points for sure.
Yeah, it's just since none of us took notes.
But I think we should
just do the general gist.
What happened, like once, like last time on Blood Air, but like just to.
Oh yeah, general gist of last book.
Yeah.
Too. So let's see. Last book, we met Anna and Ramson, and she's like, "I want you to find the guy that actually killed my dad." And he's like, "Okay, I want you to help me fuck up Curlin." And she's like, "Okay, trade." So they work together. And find out that they're actually hunting the same person. Woo! Oh well, now I gotta get.
Yeah, go get all the babies. It's a baby party.
It's a boy baby party.
It's the boy babies.
It's the baby party.
Then shenanigans ensue. We find out there's a rebel force trying to like bring justice to the Aphanites, essentially, led by Yuri. And at the end of the book is when Morgana takes control after Anna shows up and is like, "I didn't kill my father, this bitch did." And no one believes her, and her brother named her the heir, but...
Yeah. Yeah, but then they start to, but then she killed, like, then...
They make it look like she kills Luca, her brother.
Yeah, who actually killed?
Morgana, I think.
No, but someone physically did it. Was it Curlin?
No, I think it was the alchemist.
Oh, but being controlled again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the alchemist we thought was the bad guy for most of the first book. He was actually being mind controlled, and he's actually like team Anna.
Yeah. So then Anna and Ramson at the end of the book decide to join the resistance, but we find out at the beginning of this book the resistance don't fucking want her. Resistance says, "Fuck your monarchy. We want to kill you." So then, why do they end up going to the Burgundian Empire? He's so cute.
He is so cute.
Chewy's own paws. Hi, bud. So they were gonna go there, I think,
because of Curlin, right? Help. Oh yeah, because they have a weapon that's able to give Aphanites to Affinity.
No, but they were planning on going there, I think, at the end of the first book. And I think it was to ask for help, like to go there and get an alliance and get help.
Right, because they were.
But then there's other reasons that have occurred.
They were like, "We need the support," and then.
But then also we find out at the beginning of this one, weapon and
Curlin is taking Aphanites from the Burgundian Empire and.
Well, also just it's like along the way, like shenanigans.
Yeah, there's a lot of on the way shenanigans.
There's also a lot of coincidences. Like in the first book, it was like, "Hey, I want to do a thing. Hey, I want to do a thing." Turns out our two things are in league and in the exact same place. In this one, it's like, "Hey, I want to do a thing, and you want to do a thing, and both of where we need to go is in the exact same place."
I will say, like these books do rely heavily on like, isn't it like fucking hilarious that like your mom and like my BFF like mentor person are like the same person? Like, isn't that crazy? And then
honestly, that's fine to me though, because I like connections like that.
No, but
it's a lot.
I'm not saying that the book isn't enjoyable. But even like the way that the plot moves forward, it does have there is a whole lot of like, isn't it wild that we wound up in the same place because we were doing two completely different things, but they just happened to like
Yeah, like even at the beginning when they're separated, she's like, "I need to go to Goldwater Port or whatever."
Everybody needs to go to Goldwater Port.
Yeah.
And just like a note
about everyone needs to go to Burgone and everyone needs to do a thing. She's
supposed to be like sidekick, right?
Huh?
She's supposed to be like sidekick, right?
Who?
Shamira.
Yes, she is.
Is it sidekick to be like go to Goldwater Port?
What do you mean?
Because like she directs both Anna and
she forces both of them to go there.
But that's not like that didn't read as sidekick to me. That read as like
it was like Anna was like what?
No, it's psychic.
Yeah, she was like, look, Anna, this is one of your potential paths, and should you take this potential path, there are chances for things to happen, but other people need to make certain choices for other things to also happen. But she was like, I see, and she didn't actually say go to Goldwater Port. She said, I see an ocean in your future.
Yeah.
And then with
Ramson, she made a painting, knowing that
so
he would go there to
in
look
a
for
gold
her.
frame.
Yeah.
But yeah, she could see that both of their futures relied on them going there.
Yeah.
Or I guess their best potential futures relied on them going there.
Yeah, relied on them both being there, and yeah.
But also because it was because also part of the reason why she wanted Anna to go there as well was because she could see that Anna would meet her son there.
Yep. Stop it.
Which she did.
Stop being a hoe.
Yeah. So I guess that's where the psychic thing came in as well, because it wasn't just like, hey, go there, because I was also going to tell Ramson to go there. I was like, no, go there and you'll find my son.
Yeah. And so then they go to the Burgonian Empire, and shit ensues.
And Lynn starts off this book in prison, being tortured.
Yes.
And then they're like, enjoy your last thingamajig, and it's Caius, and he's like, hey, I'm also prisoner because I didn't do a thing like they wanted me to do, but I also have to interrogate you. Let's escape. And she's like, okay, and I'm going to escape without you. And then she tries to and fails, and he catches up, and he's like, I told you to wait for me.
Yeah, he's like, okay, we'll escape tomorrow at midnight. And she's like, right now? Okay, cool. And then just goes. And he's like, bitch, I gave you a time and a date.
But also, I will say that her reasons for not waiting for him make sense.
Yeah, because he's a Jaeger. She can't trust him.
So you're not like, bitch, because normally you'd be like, bitch, you're a fucking idiot. But you're like, no, girl, yeah, fucking get out, out.
Yeah.
Go. I mean, you're also like, boink him, but get out. Totally.
Yeah, right? It's like, I have conflicting feelings here.
You're like
as the reader, I found him to be genuine in what he was saying.
Same.
But I cannot at all blame her for not believing he was genuine.
Yeah, for sure. So you're not like annoyed. Also, the time between her failing and them actually escaping doesn't last so long that you're like irritated either. So nothing hangs for too long. It's written well enough that you're not
the pacing's good,
and so it works out really well. And also, her plan is good enough.
Yeah.
Bad enough. And the other thing is that she knows it's probably not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But she's
like, but I got to try anyway.
But she's like, I got to try anyway because I'm not going to die like this. And so you're like, that's fucking admirable. Because, and I feel like in a lot of books, you get like, I guess somebody up against like super impossible odds, and they sort of like oversell themselves, and then like somehow it works. So it's very believable that she's skilled enough that it half works, but then she's like, so
she needs help. Yeah.
And everything. And she's just like, yeah. And then she's fucked. And so, and then he's like, so you gonna let me help you now? And she's like,
fuck you, fine.
She's like, I guess.
Yeah.
But then she eats again and he follows her again.
And he's like, stop this. And she's like, no. It's great. I love their banter. Their banter is really good.
Yeah. And it was during the escape, I believe, that we found out that, because in the first book we just told that Jaegers could block, like because they can sense powers and then they can block powers. But we found out in this one that they can also boost powers and also borrow them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he could fly using her flyy powers. Which I was like, well, that's kind of cool. That's kind of handy. So it's kind of like the ditto of the Athenite world.
Sorry.
That's perfect, actually. Yeah.
Carbine has the hiccups.
Oh.
He gets the hiccups all the time.
Then, let's see. Like, they talk to the king to say they can make an alliance, and it's not really going well because this kingdom is being shadow run by Ronan. Roran. God, I keep fucking forgetting names. And he's
that's
like,
the thing with some of the names in this book.
it's like I keep forgetting them. Because he's like, tell Anna that we'll accept the alliance if we can experiment on her, which it means that they want to siphon her powers.
Which, like, yoinks.
Yeah.
I will say though, because also,
wait, we just did a whole bunch of shit, didn't we?
Yeah,
shenanigans. Just shenanigans.
Well,
no, we skipped some pretty
Morgana rocks up
things.
in Gold. Yeah. So Anna's in Goldwater thingy with Yuri after his second.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Her. And she
that's
meets
right.
her
She
mum
does meet
and
up
his
with him.
sister. It's all nice, and then she runs into Lynn. With Jaeger chasing Lynn. And then I don't know if she runs into Ramson yet, or if that's a bit later, but before they leave, obviously. I think he comes and yes, they see each other, and then Morgana rocks up with all her peeps, and Morgana's
and they're like, we gotta go, and he's like, I already got pickup, let's leave, the Uber's been called.
Yeah, so but like
so they eat
before this, like he's already trying to yeet he's already made the decision to leave
Cerelia.
Cerelia and Anna behind because he's like, I don't know if I'll find her again, but I have to go do this thing.
Yeah, but like I need to go murder.
He's like, I have to go be my own person and like go do my own shit. So like if I don't find her, then like it is what it is. We cross paths again. And like that's he's already made that decision. But then we have like explosions and all this sort of shit. And then like they all find each other. We're like the gang's back together again. And yeah, he's like,
jump on a boat.
And they all jump on a boat.
I really like as well because like when he organized the ride on the boat, it was like because he knew the captain and it's a chick and then he's like, it's time to do a thing. She's like, okay, well I guess we'll do a thing. She's kind of reluctant, and then then
four of them show up and
Anna,
she's like,
Lynn and Caius, and she's like, you said one, and he's like, I'll pay you later. Go, go, go. And she's like, I'm not going. He's like, we're all about to die, motherfucker. Go.
Yeah, he's like,
they're slaughtering the town.
Yeah, he's like, argue later. Let's go. And she's like, okay. So they're on the boat for 2 weeks, and during this time,
he's training her. Caius is training her.
Anna, and Anna hates his fucking goits. Can you not bite my toes, please, for the love of? Anna's.
I feel like by the end though, she's a bit less.
Right. No, by the end.
By the end, there's trust.
There's a lot more trust built up between them because, ouch, stop that. Your stupid puppy teeth. There's a lot more trust built up between them, and she does not hate him quite as much.
Yep.
In fact, they smile at one another at some point and everything. And so, but yeah, so she's
still
really
got growing to do though.
But so he's teaching and how to like use her powers, especially to like heal and not to kill like so crudely and like so violently, basically, and everything. So that's kind of like the main point is basically that once we're off this boat, Anna has better control of her powers, and that's kind of the plot device that we're getting out of this.
Well, I think another important thing to note is like what he was teaching her gave her a different view of her powers because one of the things she thought about in the first book was her brother saying, it's not your powers that make you bad, it's how you use them.
Yeah. It's your choices.
And she never really worked out, like she knew what he was getting at, but she didn't know how to do what he was meaning.
Yeah.
And Aya showed her how.
Yeah.
He showed her how to heal instead of kill.
Right, because she's a blood aphanite and Morgana is a flesh aphanite. So they have very similar abilities in that they have very, very brutal control of the human body. And obviously Morgana is evil. And she is, I mean, I hope she's not, suddenly Anna is evil. But she's not evil. But she sees their powers as pretty much adjacent to one another. And so she has like this internal struggle of, am I a bad person or am I a good person with bad person powers or whatever?
Yeah.
So she's taught how to use them in a more productive way. Which is
it really does help her confidence levels.
Stuff that.
Or also before they leave as well, because there were a couple of times on her way to Goldwater Port as well that she saw, like, because what Morgana has done is in the first book, Aphanites was like effectively indentured servants.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she's gone and flipped it.
Yeah.
So now non-Aphanites have to register. They have to carry their IDs. If they do a bad, they get the shit beaten out of them, if not murdered. Anyone caught helping someone rebelling or helping non-Aphanites avoid whatever, they get killed. It ain't good. And she finds there's a couple of people that used to have, I guess, Aphanite servants, and they're going to kill the entire family, including the
baby.
6-month-old baby.
Oh, that's right. Because I was reading and I had to stop reading after that. I had to take a break because I was like, they're murdering babies. I need to take a pause.
and like the mother's like, the baby hasn't done anything. We didn't know, like, because a lot of the people that also had Aphanite servants, I do believe, didn't actually understand just how corrupt and everything. Like, a lot of them didn't understand just how these people were kind of like had all their shit taken from them, forced into these contracts, and then the contracts sold, etc. They thought they were just getting a servant.
Yeah.
They didn't realize that they were effectively getting an indentured servant,
right?
Which is two very different things. And she's like, the baby hasn't done anything. We didn't know. And they're like, too bad. We're going to kill your fucking baby. And Anna does some killy stuff. And so all these flies are starting to pop up now because she was like, crap, I just did a thing in front of people. And they were like, thank you, when she's expecting them to be like, you're terrifying.
Yeah.
And they're like, no. And so all these flies are popping up around Cerelia with a picture of her, because when she uses her affinities, her veins go black, her eyes go red. And there's her standing like that, angry, and it's just like the red tiger is alive and being like, like, long
there's
live.
Posters of her everywhere, in a lot of cities.
Yeah. And it's effectively starting like a revolution for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is that happens on the boat is Ramson and Lynn tell her that in their home countries, Aphanites and non-Aphanites do not have these problems.
Yeah, they live peacefully together.
They live peacefully, and they're like, yeah, this is just like not a thing. And she's she's like, they don't talk about this. Like, it's kind of like a there is no Warren Bossing say sort of vibe of like, nobody talks about this, about how outside of here this is possible. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And they're like, if you're going to be an empress, you need to actually know what's going on outside of your country. You know that, right?
Yeah. So like Burgoyne, they're kind of just like, I guess my neighbor's an Aphanite. Like you look at your Aphanite neighbor the same way you look at your brunette neighbor, effectively. Like, it's just like meh. Whereas in Lynn's country, it's like they're, for want of a better word, because it feels House of Nighty, but they're like priestesses and priests, and they're like holy people, or well respected. They're on, they're elevated people of society, effectively, but not in a we're better than you way. In a the person who can control water is very helpful to the farm folk, so they help the farm folk.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it's good. But
what are you doing? No, don't do that.
Yeah, I honestly feel like this book has a lot of Anna growing up. Like, the first book, she was just like, I want to get revenge. Whereas this one, she's like, I need to learn how to be a ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually really nice to see. So in YA, and this book is classified as YA. I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
I highly disagree. But in a lot of YA books, you've got a lot of teenage girls like, I'm gonna rule like a thing, and they just they have no qualities that that make you
It's
think.
Like, shut up, Alex.
They have no qualities that make you think you could actually do that.
And when they have that moment where they're like, I don't know how to lead, it's more just like, oh my God, life is so hard. All these people are looking to me and I don't know how to do it. Whereas I'm fuzzy. Whereas in this one, Anna's like, holy shit, I don't know how to do this. Let's work out how to do this.
Yeah,
Right.
let's make a plan.
And it's really a breath of fresh air to have a character be like, oh, I'm an idiot, but I'm very ignorant and I need to learn shit, which is like a big deal because it's like it's so nice. It's so nice.
She's coming at it
like
because she's coming at it from the right perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like in typical way, it's like, this is so hard for me. What if I fail? What if this? What if that? And whereas Anna's like, can I do what's right for them?
Yeah.
And that seems to be her biggest concern. Can I do what's right for my people? And the emphasis is on her people, whereas in typical YA, it's like, this is hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because Anna understands like that it's not just her life that is at stake. And
it's the lives of her people.
The other really great moment in this book, and it's a really gut-wrenching moment, is she and Ransom are like watching a thing happen, or is it her and Ransom? I think this happens more than once, or it might be her and Lynn, or it might be Lynn and Caius. I think this happens more than once, where they can't save somebody. Okay, this happens with Anna. I'm thinking of the incident with Anna, but this also happens with Lynn and Caius.
Yeah, are you talking about when like Ransom like literally pulls her onto the boat?
Yes. So Anna is like, I need to save these people. I could do it. I could save them right now. And Ramson is like, you will
die trying.
You will die trying, and you can't do it right now. Like you just can't. You don't have the political power. You don't have anything you need to do it. And she's like, but these people I'm staring at are gonna die. And it's like, yeah, they are. But more people are gonna die if you die right now.
Yeah.
So we have to go.
You can't save your country if you save these people effectively.
Yeah.
And it's and obviously any book that deals with politics, like any fiction book, is always going to be oversimplified because that's how it is. But it's still a really great and well done scene of her coming to terms with that and accepting it and being like, yeah, this is what I have to do. Because I was so worried about the scene. I was like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Listen to him. And she does. And I was like, yes. Because in any other book, any other YA, she would have done.
Zoe fucking Redbird would have done it.
Zoe
and then gotten away with it.
Yeah, would have gotten away with it. Would have been the hero. Would have been like, see, I can do whatever I want. And then we would have been supposed to like applaud her or some shit. And she made like the difficult choice of having to leave people to die, because that's how actual revolutions work. And it's a really,
and that changes her as well.
Yeah, it does. And it's a very gut-wrenching moment. But
it sucked.
It did suck. It sucked to read, but it was a really good moment of her realizing, I can't save every individual person. I have to focus on the bigger picture, and I can't get emotionally invested in every single person as much as I want to.
It also shows how she's grown since last book, since May and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, even like two scenes, like just like 2 chapters before that as well.
Yeah,
she was faced with the same situation on a small scale, and she's like, and she went to go, because she's like, no, I can't get caught right now, and she's like, but I can't let my people die, so she saves the family. And I feel like she made the right choice in both situations.
Yeah, weighing the pros and cons.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I feel like
she felt appropriate about each as well. Like she hated herself when she got on that boat. She hated herself.
For sure. Yeah. She wasn't like, yeah, I made the right choice and I'm a good person. She was like, I feel like shit. That sucked. But her attitude about it was, that sucked and it had better be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was after that. She's like, I can't make it so that those people died for nothing. I cannot live with myself if I don't follow through with this or die trying, because like if I make that decision, then something else has to happen to make that okay. And you really feel that with her, and I think like, and that I think is what makes a political book like this work.
It's so weird having an MC that I'm not just like, ugh, over.
Right? Where it's like, I get where you're coming from and you're making good decisions and I don't hate you and I don't think you're
and you're handling these complex, nuanced situations and emotions quite well.
Yeah. Especially, and the other thing is too, is she also does have quite an abrasive personality.
Yeah.
So it can be done. You can have a complex, abrasive female main character who is not a piece of shit.
Yeah, because she is probably one of my favorite female protagonists.
Yeah, same. And I'm not typically somebody who enjoys. Well, I say this, I like Mercy too, but I'm not typically somebody who enjoys really abrasive female characters, mostly because of how they're done usually. But when they're done well, they can be. But when they're done well, they can be very compelling characters. Mostly because abrasive people in general are better at driving stories forward.
Yeah, because and I will say, so like one thing,
do shit.
Well, one thing she has over Mercy as well is so far, right? Like I like Mercy, but we all like everyone knows it's not a secret. Mercy's a dum-dum when it comes to like, you know, the people she should want in her life. Like Ben's awful and he's a misogynist, but he loves her. And she's like, Ben hates me. Honey hates me. Mary Jo loves me. And she's wrong about it, all of it. Charles hates me. Charles, you make Charles's top 5 people. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Whereas, I can't really think of anything where I'm just like, I think that's worthy of criticism. I think she's probably one of the most well thought out and best delivered protagonists I've ever read.
Yeah, I completely agree. And yeah, her personality is
weird.
And she does some things that annoy me, but that's fine.
But they fit into her methodologies and
yeah, I don't have to like every move a character makes. Yeah. I don't care about that. What I care about is that like in the big moments that matter, she does something that makes sense and something that drives the story forward and makes it and drives the story towards her end goal. And her end goal is to be Empress. And that moment just
learns from her mistakes.
And that, like I said, that moment just really stood out to me because it was so gut wrenching, but also because like she made the right decision and it sucked. And also just because I don't think most other authors would have fucking done it, or at least other authors of YA would have done it. And it was really fucking refreshing to read that.
Oh, also in a similar sort of vein, like because Ramson sees what's her name again? Caius's mom,
Shamira.
Mm-hmm. So Shamira. Yeah. When she gets taken, because Ramson witnesses her get taken.
Yes.
And he lets it happen.
Yeah.
And like while I was reading it, it did seem as though she was kind of signaling him, like just throwing it out there. If anyone wants to find a thing, check out my paintings.
Yeah.
But it worked with, like, it wasn't like she was talking like a crazy person. It worked with her just talking to them as well. And it's just like, is she telling me to stick around and stay hidden? I don't know. But he felt like personal growth. I love personal growth. He felt like shit. Book 1, Ramson would have been like, I did the right thing. Whereas he's like, I feel like crap. I would have made this, if I had to do it again, I would have made the exact same decision. But I feel like it.
Yeah.
And after he has that thought, he puts the painting clue together. It's like, oh shit, I need to get into the house that's being burnt down right now and find this painting.
Yeah.
And he does. And he's like, and then he's like, no, I definitely made the right decision. But
yeah,
I do like that he was like, I would have saved myself every time, but I don't like that I had to.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's obvious on a much smaller scale, with far less dire consequences. But yeah, book one, him wouldn't have had that thought process.
No.
He would have been like, oh, what a shame, the old lady's gone.
That's another thing is, oh my God, character development betwixt books.
Oh, so like all
and
of
after
the
going
character
through 7 books of no character development, do you know how nice it is to read a book where like characters change, like not change like personalities, but
grow up and learn.
And learn something. Oh my God, it's so crazy.
It's almost like life experiences change you.
It's fucking coconuts.
Yeah, well, do they? Do life experiences change you?
As much as we can criticize Mercy all day long, she does eventually learn. She eventually goes, Mary Jo might hate me, but I've decided I like her anyway. And you know what? I decide I like Hunt, and I've adopted Ben. Like, and I guess Charles doesn't hate me. Like, she eventually gets her fucking shit together.
Yeah, she starts just referring to Charles as like, he's one of the most intimidating people I know. Not instead of Charles wants to eat me for breakfast.
Yes.
Like she softens it. But
she figures her shit out. And that makes it much less frustrating to read dumb characters in book 1. Because when you get to book 2, it's so satisfying to see them do better. And you're like, yeah, good for you.
Finally.
And because Caius as well, he starts off this book being like, no, I want to be a better man. And he gets tempted away from that in a way in this book, in a way that isn't like, oh my God, time to test the new guy. Like it's like that part of the plot, you know. It didn't feel like that. And they're just like, you don't have to do this. And he's like, you know what? Fucking I don't have to do this. And he doesn't. And I'm like,
and his motivations for that moment of unsureness, like they make sense because his entire goal is to find his mother. That's his character goal from moment 1. That's the first thing he says. He's like, I just want to find mommy. And
I want my mama. And no, I really like I think we did the same thing last time where we just fawned for a while over the exact same goodness.
Yeah, we were just like, wow, this book was so nice to read.
Well, because again, it's an engaging plot. Like we're not even like halfway through the plot yet, but it's an engaging plot, well-written characters, likable characters for all their flaws. They learn. They tend not to repeat the same mistake unless it's for a very specific reason.
Yep.
And they're like, look, I know I'm doing this stupid thing, but I have to do this stupid thing for X reason.
Yeah.
And they give you a good reason to do dumb thing again, and you're like, all right, you know. And so, and the thing about writing advice from Book Club with Bay, here's the thing: you can have a dumb, convoluted plot. You can have the simplest plot in the world. Plot matters, but plot matters so much less than characters.
Yeah.
Because nothing is more enjoyable than reading a book with good characters that you can latch onto, and you can be like, "Oh my God, look at you! I'm so proud of you." Obviously, the plot should be more of a tool to get your characters from point A to point B, and it really feels like that. It really feels like we have characters and that are doing something. And yeah, characters are why you care about the plot development, and the plot development really ties into the character development as it should.
Yeah.
And so it's less about like, so yeah, I care about the plot, but also because this thing happened in the plot, this cool thing happened for this character, and you got to see the character do like a cool thing that they wouldn't have done last time. And like that's really the moment. It's not really the moment within the plot. It's more like this thing happened in the plot, and then this character did something you liked and something that was kind of special. Yeah. And those are really the moments that make you remember a book.
Yeah.
Not like your super amazing plot twist, although it might be super amazing and that's like good for you. But like characters are why people read books.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I don't like. But it's going to be like another year before the third one comes out.
At least, yes. I can read through cheap plot devices all day when I care about the person in the plot. Yeah, I think we've said this before in book club. We're the same way. We don't care about like predictability or anything like that. You can give me the most predictable book all day long as I'm having fun with the characters and with what's happening. I don't care.
Well, like with Morganville, right? Like, I mean, this is obviously clearly a better book than any of the Morganville books by, like, in terms of characters, plot, etc. Like character development, I guess.
Yeah,
etc. Sure. But and continuity. Continuity is a big one.
Yes.
But like Morganville generally has like fuck all plot. Like half of them they don't even get into the plot until like halfway through the book. And then we take really long pauses from the plot to just have the characters hang out. But you don't mind because they're fun characters. You enjoy them.
Yeah.
And they're not. I feel bad because I love Morganville, but like Rachel Kane really needs to sort of shit out when it comes to her writing.
Yeah.
But again, like so many continuity errors throughout the series, but I don't care. It's fun. It's light reading. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, and not everything.
And it's because of the characters.
Yeah, and not everything has to be super serious, and the characters can just be fun. The book can just be fun, or it can be like this, where it's more dense and more serious, and you have these really big moments. But either way, as long as you're invested in the characters, you can more or less get away with whatever.
Yeah.
When it comes to the plot.
And I feel like as well, because one thing that can often happen in like fantasy books, especially like when the main character has like these super special chosen one powers or whatever. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to relate to them in terms of issues because it's so like there's just such a disconnect between the issues that the character is going through and us. And it would be so easy
to have a chosen one type power.
Yeah,
but she is.
And then also like she's the poor little disenfranchised princess type thing and all this stuff. Like there's so many things that should not be at all relatable, but she's written in a way where you can still be like, I feel you, boo.
I get you pain, girl.
Well, it's because she's never really that concerned about herself, I think. And it's really because she's
not in an obnoxious way either.
Oh well, yeah.
Because there's some characters that are like, I must help everyone, and you're like, can you just shut up about how much you want to help everyone? Like, for all the reasons she should not be relatable, she's still a relatable character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's done very, very well. And especially considering this is the author's, I will remind you, the author's first language is not English.
Yeah.
Her first book was Blood Air.
And this is
her second book.
Like, the quality is ridiculous.
Like, you know, everyone should have, like, okay, have realistic expectations, but like, this is like a first and second novel goals. Because and it rarely happens.
I know I didn't hit, like, for sure. Not that any of our shit's bad, but like, this is for sure like goals.
Yeah.
Like,
and I hope she releases more series.
I do too.
Because I want to read
like
her bibliography.
Yeah, like these books feel like they're her 10th, 11th, even higher number books.
Yeah.
Like they don't feel like her first and second.
And the second book definitely feels like an improvement upon the writing got better.
I was kind of glad I didn't have to hear Chocolate Laughs again. I will say that because I don't think that was in this book.
No. But like the quality got better, which is another thing that's kind of all you can hope for as an author, is that your second book is better than your first book and so on. And so
I don't know how much better she can get though. That's the thing as well.
Dude, we'll have to see.
Improvement.
Here, I think.
We'll just see how high she keeps raising that bar.
Let's go to her Twitter.
And to think too that like the first book caused so much controversy to where people were trying to get it freaking canceled.
Yeah, and I still don't actually get it. Like, I still don't get why.
I don't
like
understand.
I know what the reasons claimed were and everything, but I still just don't understand. You know?
I don't either. I don't understand.
I think there's a portrait of Ramson, and I don't know how I feel about this.
Let me see.
All right, so it's I think Lynn on the back left, and then Anna in the front, and then his face, he looks like he's gonna murder me. He just looks like he's gonna murder me.
Wait, let me.
So in the first,
it's on her Twitter. It's her pinned tweet on Twitter.
In the first, stream, we talked about the controversy around this book, but as a brief recap, there were issues surrounding cultural appropriation because this is a high fantasy book, and it's based on Russia. The main country that we're in is based on Russia, and people felt that she was not using the Russian language correctly enough.
Yeah, there were also issues about slavery.
There were also issues about slavery because she based the slavery and indentured servitude themes in the book on China.
And where she was born.
Yeah, on China and East Asia, and not like American slavery, but people still got angry about it. And then there was also, I believe, I could be misremembering because it's been a while, I believe there was also skin tone issues.
There might have been, I don't remember.
I don't remember though. But yeah, people were very cranky. People were super cranky about it. And the reviews for the first book are still really low because people review bombed it. So,
but the second one's looking good. It's over 4 stars.
Well, because if you look at the reviews on Goodreads, it's like 3.9, but then on Barnes & Noble, it's 4.6. And then 92% of people like this book on Google. Like, so the reviews on Goodreads.
And Amazon would have good. Amazon would have pretty good as well because you have to have been a verified purchaser to leave a review on a book on Amazon.
Yeah, so on Amazon, it's over 4 stars on Amazon, but not on Goodreads because it got heavily review bombed.
So I'm looking at the character cards now.
Ramson just looks like he's gonna kill me.
She looks so pretty though.
Yeah, she looks dope.
I want her cloak. I'm not gonna lie. I want that cloak.
I want that dress.
I would wear it. I would find some way to wear that. But Ramson's I'm not too keen on. I don't know what it is. I think it's definitely the mouth, but I think it's also the nose and the cheekbones and the chin.
It's the chin
and the eyebrows. The mouth is way too wide, and I don't like it.
Okay, expected publication is 2022.
Can she just write faster?
Can we get arcs? Can we get how do we get arcs for this book? Because I want an arc.
We need them in our life.
I'm trying to figure out what the controversy was. Yeah,
it was mostly the
slavery.
Yeah, it was the critics found it racist.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too sure about what the skin tone thing was, although I think that could have been a thing. But yeah, there was biggest thing was the slavery, and they're like, you can't appropriate African American issues for your own entertainment. And she was like, this is based on my home country's form of slavery.
Yeah,
that is still in existence today.
Yeah,
because it is.
This is not about
East Asia. East Asia is renowned for having. I guess it's not slavery. It's more indentured servitude.
Mm-hmm.
Is what they do, and that's definitely still rampant in parts of East Asia. And it's quite clear. It's quite clear from the book as well that that's what it is. It's not.
Was what I sought to interrogate and critique was the modern day epidemic of human trafficking and endured labor. It wasn't something I had seen in YA literature.
Yeah.
But what I would like to say is, sweetie, you're too good for YA.
Right.
Yeah. These books are way too good for YA. They're not YA, but because they're listed as YA, yeah, then it's too good.
When comparing to other young adult books.
Not only is the quality too good for YA, I'm sorry, because first of all, the material,
subject matter,
the material, the writing, everything, but also
the development.
The YA Twitter stance can be incredibly harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And she's adorable.
She is.
On Twitter, she's adorable.
No, her story is really cool, and
yeah, she grew up in Beijing.
And I'm sorry, the fact that her first language isn't even English, and she's publishing this book in English is and I'm like, how the fuck is you write better in English than I do?
Because she's also spattering Russian, bits of Russian through it as well, which again,
that's really cool, isn't it? It's so dope.
And I'm just like, I don't know how this happened.
Every single bit of success, honestly, it's really cool, and the books are really good.
Yeah, in her spring 2022, it's actually in the back of the book.
Oh, nice.
But in her acknowledgments, she literally has a section in Chinese. But
yeah, and the dedication has some Chinese characters in that as well. I don't know what it says because she's talking to people, the names.
Yeah,
the people in her dedication are in Chinese.
The glossary was also extended in this one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's an impressive woman. I will say that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, check. We have published books, but we're just saying this is incredibly impressive. And
we stand.
We hardcore stand.
We stand.
Yeah, I really want to make a better version of that because I've got Blood Air.
I was just order them. It's not a translation. It's actually she wrote it in English.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, when I was just thinking about it a few months ago, I was just I really just want to have them both in hardcover. And so I did it. And they weren't I think this one was on sale. They weren't crazy.
Yeah, no, they're not.
But I also just really wanted to support this fabulous author.
That's my thing is I love buying hardcover books of books.
Oh yeah.
It makes me so happy.
Even though I have 2 hardcover House of Knights on my my bookshelf. I think it's Tempted and Awakened though, which were my 2 favorites.
We're hopefully gonna get a bookshelf soon, and then
yay.
And then I can actually buy all of our books because I don't actually own all of my own books.
I don't have the hardcover of BTBOR. I just have the hardcover of BTOA.
Yeah, I don't.
I will have once I get my all my stuff out of storage because it's still in storage. I'll have to show you. Honestly, they're probably like some of the nicest copies of books that I've ever owned. But my it's funny though because it's Twilight. I have like the nicest Twilight set.
I have.
It's so nice. It's cotton bound. It comes in its own box, but then like the pages are kind of like all the edges of the pages are like torn, but done really nicely, nicely torn.
Yeah.
It's so nice, but
it's Twilight. Yeah.
Yeah.
it is what it is, I guess.
Where are we? Like, what are we doing?
They just got into.
They were in the Burgonian Empire, and then Daddy was like, I want to experiment on your girlfriend. Love sucks, bro.
And he's like, no. And he's like, yes. And he's like, no. And then he's like, okay, fine, I will. But I think his agreement was kind of like, just like, yeah, I'll say. I don't think he ever actually intended to go through with it.
No. He was like, I'll tell her. But then he's also hunting Curlin this entire time too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
and things
suspect that your animal is doing something horrible and they're just chilling on the couch being a very good boy.
That's Otto in a nutshell. Except he's scratching my walls when I think he's doing nothing, so.
Yeah, just anyway, moving on. Sorry.
And this is why Archie goes in the crate when I'm not watching him.
I just couldn't see because like my monitor was in the way, so I was like, "Where the fuck is my dog?" And why?
Yeah, he was at my feet before I realized he had started to chew a hole in the back of my slippers. So I'm like, "Let's just put you." I picked him up and then he fell asleep, just not on my lap or in my arms, just laying across. So
precious.
I just had to shove him in. But that was the other thing as well. Like when they first go to talk to the king, so Daddy Dearest is there, the boy king is there, the Queen Regent, which is the king's mother, should be there, but she's not. We find out later she's dead.
Yep.
And boy king is just kind of like just dazed, confused, no idea what's going on, much like how Luca was in the last book when we saw him. And a lot of the times in YA as well, when a character's being defiant or whatever, you kind of just like, oh, shut up and just do what you need to do. But like, she was defiant in like the best way because
dude, it was a badass scene.
Because Daddy kept on like trying to like control the conversation, and she refused to talk to him.
Yeah,
like she would respond to what he was saying, but would always direct all of her speech.
Look at Darius, yeah.
To the king, and then the only time that she spoke to him was like when he saw his son. He was like, "Seize that man," and she's like, "Excuse fucking you."
She's like, "Don't touch my boyfriend. Thanks. Bye."
Yeah. Oh, and we need to talk as well. Daddy Dearest lets his own daughters throat in this scene.
Yeah, to make Anna do something.
Yeah, just to see what would happen.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about her.
Yeah, like I mean, like he knew that she would do it.
Yeah,
but he just wanted to see how good she was.
And what if she didn't?
Right?
Like, what if she was like, nah, she's a bitch? Like, what if she's kind of a
yeah?
What if she was like, oh yeah, agree.
Yeah, or what if she had tried right, but Kai's hadn't just spent 2 weeks teaching her how to heal effectively, because her old way of healing was just trying to make the blood clot.
Yep.
And
which takes time.
When we saw like on a fairly minor stab wound, like it works, but like not really.
It didn't actually heal it; it just stopped the blood flow.
Right, which is
the
like
injury was still there.
Yeah, and as we all know, if your throat gets slit, like the blood will clot, but like
But like you'll be dead.
Like you'd be dead.
And if it doesn't get healed at all, like even if she manages to stop the blood flow by clotting it and you're still alive, because it, you know, none of the wounds actually healed yet. She's actually learned how to use the blood to heal the wound, redirect some of that back into the body, back to where it should go, you know.
Yep.
How to use the blood to, I guess, the goodness that is inside blood to like boost the body's healing process and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't
learn
get
how to do that.
explanation on how that works, but you know, I'm not that bad about it.
It's probably for the best. I think probably the more she tried to explain, the dodgier it would sound.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's magic. I don't care.
Because when you think about it, like fixing a wound using blood isn't really the most efficient. Like it's not really. Like I don't actually see how that could work. So probably less information is best.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you know what? We're just gonna roll with it. I believe you.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, whatever you say.
You did nothing but practice that for 2 weeks. I'll buy it. That's fine.
Yeah. So then a good chunk of the next part of the book is each of them discovering bits and pieces to the puzzle. So the king's being poisoned, but he's not actually drinking the poison. He's just pretending to be. He's like, I don't want to die, motherfucker. I don't want to die.
He's like, yo, I'm 14. I got a lot to do in my life. Dying is not on my list right now.
And he's like, will you help? And we will be the allies, etc. And they're like, fuck yes, we will help. They also work out that Curlin. Oh, so with the weapon, Morgana has found out that there is a thingy that can give affinities to other people.
Yeah, they can siphon the affinity from one person and give it to someone that already has one. So they have two.
Yep. But then they also find out that they're trying to experiment and get it to work on people that do not.
Yeah,
like
they're non-Aphanites.
And then later on we discover it's happened. They've only had one success on that front. And so I guess that's the main, like when they talk about the weapon, I think she's the main weapon.
Sorsha?
Because,
yeah.
Because she's the only one that it's been successful on. And, you know, and having that ability would be, you know, so she's the thing to be studied.
Yeah.
But it takes them a while to work out the connection because Daddy Dearest hates Curlin. There's no way he would work with Curlin. And they're like, I don't know how Curlin is involved in this scheme with Daddy and whatever. And then they eventually piece it together. Turns out Sorsha hates Daddy and has been aligned with Curlin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So most of the, like, from what we just got to, like, talked about to, like, the next major stuff is them piecing all of this together amongst all of themselves.
Yeah, and everyone's getting different information. So, like, Ramson is on the Curlin end of things, while Anna is interrogating not a historian. I guess he's like a librarian. Yeah, the dude. Yeah, the scholar. That's him. Well, she's like interrogating a scholar, and then Lynn actually talks to the king.
Yeah. And then it all comes to a head.
Yeah, it does. It fucking whoa.
So I can't remember why, but Ramson's in talking to Daddy, and then that's when Daddy is like, I did love your mother. I have her death flowers in my office still. And he's like, fuck you do. And they haven't worked out I forgot her name. I'm so tired. What's his name again?
Sorsha.
Yeah, I don't know if he works it out like immediately before her, or as soon as he hears a voice, he's like, oh, fuck, it's you. You're the missing link. But she walks in and she's like, hi, Daddy Dearest. Stab. Kills Daddy.
And Ramson's just like, oh, yeah, I actually just flipped to that. And like, she just looks back at Ramson and Ramson's just like, yeet, gone.
Yeah, she's like, your turn,
you never
brother.
saw me. And then she says, your turn, brother, dearest.
Yeah. And so she's currently rocking some tin, some fire, and some stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
affinities. And so then he finds like a golden wooden frame, like portrait. He's like, this will have to do.
This will do.
Because he can't sword by it because she can turn his sword on him. And so she's like, done. So then like they're fighting and then he manages. Oh, and then Anna comes in and she's like, not my men, you bitch. And then like, you know.
Fight.
And Saoirse's just like, I'll get you next time. And then she eats.
But then we immediately, then that's when they make out. Is after they leave there because they're like, shit, like things are happening. Curlin's at like I don't remember what it was called, but it's like the meeting area, like the throne room essentially, but they call it something different.
Yeah, and that's why they're planning to kill the king.
Yes. And so they're like, fuck, we got to get there. And he's like, Anna, I don't know what's going to happen from here on. And he's like, and she was like, it's okay because I'll be with you no matter what. And I was like, you're lying. It hurts. And then they make out and then they go.
Yeah. So the plan here is
very good little
make out. Like there's a whole bunch of like Cerulean warships there because I'm guessing like they've been summoned.
Oh yeah. The Ceruleans are also on the way, but like
yeah. So Anna's job is to ring the bell.
Island. Yeah.
Yeah. But Anna's job is to ring the bell to be like, we need the fucking navy, yo.
Yeah, we need the Burgundian navy, please. Requesting one navy.
So Ramson gets in there and he's like, this isn't good. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, no. And so then they're fighting. Anna rings the bell and he's like, call off the navy. I don't know how you unring a bell.
Yeah, how do you unring?
Call off the navy?
What's they're called? You can't exactly just be like, hi, yeah, you know how we rung that bell? Yeah, we did it. Nix that.
Like,
no.
Is there a second bell that does ring if you need to be like, that was a mistake, my bad. A cat got in the bell tower and thought the rope was a play toy. Like I don't know how you uncall it, but he's yelling at them to uncall the navy, and they're like, no. And then I think Saoirse rocks up again.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. And she does a siphon on Anna.
Yeah, and Curlin's also here. Fighting is ensuing. Curlin has Lynn like hung over the side of this building.
Yeah, well, and Anna's passed out on the floor.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna drop her.
And Lynn's just like, fucking kill him. Oh, do it.
Yeah. She's like, I don't care what happens to me. Kill this bitch.
So then
he drops her.
Yeah,
Caius goes after her. Like just jumps off the building after her.
Yeah, he's like, no. And then Ramson and Curlin have like a show off, and it's fitting. Every time he's had a show off with Curlin previously, like Curlin's had his peeps. He's had his men around him. He's had his bodyguards. He's had all of his Athenite crew. And while Ramson's been fighting them, he just like casually walks off. He's got no one with him right now.
Yeah.
And Ramson even is just like, wow, you know, no one's around you and you're pretty fucking piss weak. Oh wait, you're actually pissing yourself and now you're dead.
Oh god, still so funny. Still so freaking funny.
And
then the Burgundian Navy emerges as the Cerulean Navy's coming in and they decimate. Yeah. Completely fuck up the Navy.
Because the Burgundian Navy is like #1 Navy. They're a Navy based.
It's like the British Navy at one point.
Yeah. And yeah, so fight's over. Anna's alive, but she ain't got no power. Saoirse's yeeted off with her affinity.
She's nowhere to be found.
Lynn and Caius didn't do it dead.
Yeah, they survived.
Which is nice. And Anna's been feeling quite vulnerable, obviously. She's not feeling great, physically or mentally. But she's like, fuck it. Like, affinity or no affinity, I still have to save my peeps.
Yeah, like, I'm still the Empress. Still gotta do this.
Yeah. So then she goes, and her and King obviously have an alliance because, you know, they're buds now. And so they're going to send what was it, 1,000 men?
1,000 ships and men, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
Whatever it was.
damn. It was 1,000 units.
Yeah. They're going to, that's the support they're offering, which is like pretty decent.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like foot soldiers, 1,000 foot soldiers, that wouldn't necessarily be many.
But I think it's the ships. Let me.
I thought it was 1,000 people on the boats, but boats obviously will be helpful.
Well, wait. There's a map. Hang on.
Oh, is there a map?
Yeah, there is a map in the books.
Oh. Is there a look?
I guess, I mean, the capital isn't really on the coast. It's up a river. So I don't know how much boats are going to help.
Is there a map in the ebook?
Yes, there is. There should be.
Is it at the end or at the beginning?
The very beginning.
Okay.
Like the way this is formatted.
He offers 1,000 Burgonian troops to set sail with the Red Tigress to launch a counterattack against the current Cerulean regime.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1,000 foot soldiers.
It sounds like though as well that country though is a very military, like it's a very militant country.
Yeah. Stop.
Which actually makes sense considering how little it is.
Yeah.
It's very little.
It's an island, yeah.
For once, the train is coming for me.
And so depending on their training, actually, that could be quite helpful. Because, like for example, not to do my military is better than yours because yours is bigger and in a lot of ways better. However, in Vietnam, American military tactics was no good. Like 4 Australian army peeps could kill twice as many people as like 100 US in the same amount of time. And it's because our training is different because we've got a much smaller military. So we focus more on like guerrilla tactics, etc. Whereas yours is more sheer force. And in a jungle, sheer force isn't the most helpful. And so I imagine based on how this country would be trained, and it's a military country in the first place, 1,000 would probably be worth a lot more than 1,000 Cerulean.
It's also better than her 0.
Yeah, it's also a lot better than her 0. But also, if they're such a small nation as well, they're not going to have a lot of people to spare.
Yeah, exactly. So 1,000's a pretty nice. It's a pretty nice number.
Yeah.
But then after, this is when I
Oh, and now I see where Lynn is from as well because she's from Nanji. Yeah.
Wait. From? No, she's
from the sea place.
She's Chimeran.
Yeah, she's from the other sea place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
while Nanji is where May was from.
Mm-hmm.
I think also Caius.
I think maybe.
Where's Caius from?
I don't remember.
Someone is Chimerian. I know that. I'm pretty sure that's Lynn.
Yes, she is.
Who the frick is from Nanji?
But after the alliance is formed, Anna goes to see her mans because she's like, all right, we made out. Like, I can't stop thinking about us making out. Like, that was a whole thing, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm leaving. Deuces. And then she's like, well, fuck you, bye. Yeah. And then
Caius and Shamir and what's her face? They're from Nanji. Yes, they're from
okay, cool.
Nanji.
And then after that, she's like, send word to the Cerulean Empire that the Red Tigress will be returning. And then the epilogue where Yuri's like, let's kill her. And that's really it. That's the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple of splitting. Our new power couple are sticking together.
Yeah.
BFF cranky. No longer
Basically.
BFF.
Basically. I feel like we don't do a lot of it justice in a way.
Yeah.
This is kind of one of those things where it's hard to capture everything, but we swear it's really good.
Yeah.
And books
she's
where
really good at is she's really good at showing us.
Yeah, like this is another one of those books. It's kind of like the Mark Lawrence books where there's a lot of walking and talking.
Yeah, it's the same with like Outlander. Describing Outlander is like she touched a stone.
They go for a walk.
They go for a walk. They walk and talk about this. They walk and talk about that. Boink.
Yeah, there's
We're walking and talking.
Yeah, there's a lot of books where there's a lot of walking and talking, but you know what? It's some really fucking fun walking and talking.
Yeah.
There's too many little moments. Like there's too many little moments to be able to say them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
read it. Read Blood Air and Red Tigress.
They're really
everyone.
good.
If you like high fantasy, not YA.
I like the whale on the map. Sorry, there's just a random whale.
Yeah, the cute little whale. Yeah, right. And it's the map's the same in both books. But yes, for viewers, that's the book. That's where. Wait. Oh, wrong hand.
Oh, I like that map better.
It looks better in the book. Yeah,
it's the same map, but it's huge.
Yeah. It is large. But yeah, it's the exact same in the first one and the second one.
So that's the one thing I'm really glad I was able to do with The Outcast of Asmar in our ebook is that the map is actually
the actual size.
She big.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, like that's one thing that I feel like a lot of, I'm going to say publishers, because it's not the author's fault. It's the publisher's fault for the most part.
No, it's not like the author's fault at all. They don't have any control of that.
Yeah, but one thing they need to do, like if you've got a landscape map, they need to adjust it for portrait or something so it can be displayed decently sized, or spread it out over 2 pages. I don't know how that would go for formatting. I don't know.
Oh well, I can show you. I can show you what ours looks like. So, trying to make sure there's no like incriminating information. I don't think there is. Okay. So there, like,
yeah,
it's big.
Yeah.
You can. Oh, the dedication.
Yeah.
But it's pretty simple to do.
Yeah.
This is not difficult, but for whatever reason, they just people don't do it in ebooks, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, like the one in this ebook is one of the better normal ones I've seen. Like you can actually read the words on it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just wish that it was bigger.
But so
beggars can't be choosers.
Unlike most of the books we read, we will not be doing the next one soon for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Because it's not out yet, unfortunately. So you murder that cat.
Dude, he's being a fucking psycho. He's trying to eat the couch and I couldn't find my spray bottle, but I found it. War is on.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Oh, speaking of spray bottles, I don't know. It might have been in Australia or it might have been in the US. I don't know. It at least went viral here. There was a video of a guy who like didn't like his neighbor's cat coming onto his lawn, so he set up like a motion detector hose sprayer. And like the pressure wasn't Like, it wasn't high pressure.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't actually harm the cat, but it was enough to, like, get the cat from a distance if it came onto his lawn. And so many people were like, this is animal abuse. And I'm like, how? It's how you train a kitten not to do bad stuff. You spray him with a bit of water. It's just a yard scale.
It's not animal abuse. Like, the thing is, if you have cats.
If it was high pressure. Like,
if it was high pressure,
fire hydrant level.
Well, but also, like, maybe keep your cat out of your neighbor's yard.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, it can be hard if your cat's allowed outside to, like, keep them confined because they've got to jumping, climbing, all that stuff. I'm very lucky in the sense that. Also, Millie has met Archie. No aggressive body language from her so far, but he also. I've held him in one arm while patting her, and then the other night she was grooming her, like across the back patio from each other. He was at my feet. She was on the other side just staring at him, but she would stop to groom herself.
That's good.
Which, if she was feeling threatened, she wouldn't be grooming herself. So.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
he kept on trying to go over there and play with it this morning, though, so I had to keep him like, I'm like, no, we do not try and play with the cranky old cat.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah, Jinx and Carbine are getting along okay, although Jinx is still confused as to why we keep bringing a twerp over to his house. He's like, why?
Because as he chills a little bit and like learns how to play better, you two will have fun. I promise.
I think the big issue that Jinx is having right now is that when we go over there, like, Jinx is not a chill dog. And so when we go over there, it's like, oh my God, mom. Oh my God, dad. Oh my God, puppy. And so it's just like information overload.
Yeah.
So he kind of doesn't know what to do with himself. So we're going to take them on a walk together. We're going to take them to the park, go on a walk together, because I think that'll be better than just like having them like trying to play in like the backyard. Because I think part of like, it's not that they don't get along. It's more that Jinx is just overwhelmed. Whereas Carbine's fine. He's used to other dogs already. But Jinx is just like, I'm having trouble processing that like mom is here and now there's a dog. What the fuck? Like, he's just like, but he has trouble processing. He has trouble processing that like the lights are on. So
So Archie doesn't seem to be very treat focused so far. I'm wondering if that'll change as he gets a little bit older or as he gets more and more comfortable, because each day his personality is coming out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But at the moment though, he seems to be reward focused right now, but I've been able to use my hand as a lure with nothing in it. So I've been able to lure him into sits, lure him into walking by my side, all that stuff with just my hand.
Well, I was telling you that training Carbine was like has been a struggle bus because I think because his foster family had so many dogs, he got like no one-on-one attention. As a puppy, he was never on a leash, and you can tell. You can tell he was never on a leash because even now his leash awareness is like hot garbo. He doesn't know where it is. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't understand why he's tethered to it. And we live in an apartment. He's connected to a leash all day, every day. And so training him is like, has been difficult. And we may just have to take him to somebody and be like, do it, because he's already 6 months old. And
so he's already had time to develop bad habits.
Yeah, and so at this point, like, I'm not a professional trainer. It's much easier to train a puppy at 8 weeks old than it is to kind of undo stuff after they're 6 months old, even. And like, I'm not a professional dog trainer. I might know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. And like, Jinx was so easy to train just because of the type of dog that he is. And Carbine is just not the same type of dog. He just doesn't have like the same motivation. He's just not at all the same as like Jinx. The other thing like with Carbine on the leash is that it's not even so much pulling, it's just getting him to walk on the leash. Like, you know, because like it's always about pulling. It's always like my dog pulls on the leash. I'm like, what about walking?
Your dog just doesn't move.
What about like if your dog just doesn't fucking walk on, like, how you
I'm so excited though, because like he's got his I guess for lack of a better term, training collar, because you know what puppies like when they first get collars and they're just attacking for like 2-3 weeks straight.
Mm-hmm.
He's still doing it, but I've got his grown-up collar that would fit him now, but I'm not putting it on him yet because it's leather and I don't want him to destroy it. But,
yeah.
Aww.
And then it's got a matching. And when I actually looked up, like, because I was just trying to work out what size collar I need to get him for grown-up, and this was actually like, it was just coincidence. I had this up on Amazon, and then it was like #1 collar to get your Cavalier, and it was this brand. And this exact collar, and I was like, oh, fuck yes.
The funny thing is we got Carbine a collar because we thought he was going to be like 60 pounds, and hilariously he's not growing. Not that like his growth is stunted or anything, he's not getting bigger. We've been measuring him. He's getting longer, he's not getting taller, and his neck isn't getting larger. So he just has this giant collar that would have fit him if he had gotten up to like 50, 60 pounds. But we took him to the vet because he needed like boosters and stuff. And the vet was like, yeah, he might be like 30 something pounds. And we were like, fuck, he's going to need a new collar because his collar is like massive on him. Like you can't walk him like with the collar. If you have a harness for him, but like, so like he's never attached to just the collar, but you couldn't, like if you had to, you could not. Because the collar just would come right off because it's too big. But we're like, he'll grow into it. He will not. He won't. So, whoops.
Also, update, because I can say it because he's not here, and he gets a bit annoyed when I bring attention to it. Stixie. He's starting to like him. He's playing with him.
There is nothing greater than the bond between a man and the dog he did not want.
That's how Kristen's getting with Otto. He went home yesterday and he was like, I was sad today because I didn't have Otto. And I was like, wow.
I miss my bud.
There's an easy solution here.
Oh, it's really funny. Like our dads, mine and Noah's dads with Carbine, it's freaking hilarious to watch because it's been my dad recently, you know, it was a couple years ago now that we had Jinx, but they're just so funny because they're just like, oh my god, who's such a cute boy, and they're just like all over this puppy and they're just so happy to have a puppy. It's so funny.
I will say one of the funniest things with my dad was it wasn't with animals because like, you know, he wasn't the biggest, he didn't mind pets, and he always got mad when, like, I say always, like we got a new dog all the time, but he was annoyed with the dogs that Mum got us when I was growing up because I had a Shih Tzu and my sister had a Shih Tzu cross Lazarus. So if it's smaller than a Rottie, it's a rat, effectively. He wanted a wolf, like an Irish wolfhound. He wanted that. He's like, that's a man's dog. And then my sister, when she moved back home for a bit, she brought a Staffy puppy with her, and he hates Staffies. He's just like the waste of a canine breed. Like he just couldn't stand him. But he was a hard ass, right? He was a prison officer, like for over 30 years. And I have no memories of my dad being soft growing up. He was always like hard ass prison officer dad. Like he wasn't militant, but he was tough, firm, you know. As soon as you put a baby in his arms, though, like he would just
melt.
Like, well, he would do stupid baby talk. I mean, like he was great at helping if your kid was just like my daughter, she had really bad silent reflux and would just scream all day, every day for about 2 months straight. And he'd be like, give it here. And he would just take her away into a different room. And you could hear her screaming for the next hour, but he'd just be sitting there rubbing her back, reading his book on his iPad. Like, it just didn't bother him. And then he would always fall asleep. Like, there's so many photos of like all these babies just asleep on my dad. So if you think he's cute, if you think they're cute with the dog, whenever it occurs, just wait until you have a baby. There's nothing like a freaking hard-ass man with a grandchild. But,
no, it's just been really
little paws are gone.
It's just been really funny because like my parents were like, yeah, get a dog. His parents were like, I can't believe, especially like his mom to me was like, how dare you allow this to happen? And I was like,
it was your job to make sure he didn't get a dog.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, I shouldn't tell you it was my idea.
Yeah, I was like, I told her it was I was like, no, this is like my idea. And she was like, what good are you? She was like,
you had one job.
Yeah, she was like, you had one job, and it was to babysit my son. But they're both just like, I'm glad you got a dog, because now we have a dog, an extra dog. And he's so doofy looking, and I love it. Isn't he? He's such a doofy looking dog. I love it. I love that his neck is not getting shorter. So Carbine, you can't really tell, but like when I'm just holding him, but his neck is long, and so when he sits, his head just like it goes back like
that's what
that.
Otto does too.
And it's adorable, and he's doofy looking. We were measuring him, like his head length, his body length, and then his height. He's gotten 3 inches longer without getting taller. So
you got to do the DNA thing.
Yeah, we do, because I don't know what's in him. I asked the vet, I was like, do you have any guess? She was like, I have no idea. This is weird, but he's adorable.
There's something brindle in him.
Yeah.
That's all we can tell.
He was like, he's super cute. He's very dense and very strong, but like, actually none of us are married.
Yeah.
But
what's that from?
Twitch asked if we were married. We all have significant others, but none of us are married.
Yep.
Yeah,
accurate.
I really should be, because I also have children with mine, but
yes.
Well, if you guys were to break up, you'd have to basically go through a divorce. So
yeah, he, I don't know what the go is in the US, but he, like, more or less, if you've been living with your partner for 9 months,
common law,
you're common law married.
It's not like that in the US.
Yeah, so we have all the same legal rights and responsibilities as a married couple, just without.
I'm curious, how does common law marriage work in Georgia?
Yeah, it definitely depends on your state for common law.
What is considered a common law marriage in Georgia?
At what point? Oh, I thought you said it is, not what is. Never mind. Yeah, so legally he's my spouse, but he's not my husband.
They don't exist in South Carolina. That's fine.
Common law marriage is no longer recognized in Georgia as of 1997.
Yeah.
So
I was actually going to say I suspect it's probably more recognized in more blue voting states.
Yeah, probably out west.
Yeah, probably because here it's like probably where there's higher marriage rates. Like,
no, California doesn't even have common law.
Really? That's surprising. I thought California would be number 1 to have that.
It's just U.S. states that have common law marriage. common law is recognized in Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, New Hampshire for inheritance purposes only. Oklahoma, Rhode Island, no longer
Texas.
South Carolina. South Carolina was on this list, but they abolished it last year. Texas, Utah, and DC.
Apparently, no. It's trending red for acknowledgement of common law. Wow.
Which might make sense.
It would trend blue.
But
okay, so Georgia used to, and if
Georgia
you had
used
one
to.
before, and if you had one before, it was no longer a thing. It's still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I guess that's nice because like it'd suck if you were like technically someone's spouse one day and then the next you just weren't.
Yeah, that would. They got grandfathered into it.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, welcome to the end of book club streams where we just don't talk about books anymore. We just end up on weird tangents about trying to find out the common laws.
This always happens to us. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, the fact that we spent most of the time talking about a book is a bit of a...
Dude, well, I mean, I guess that's just what happens when we have a good
When we like the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually talk
Yeah,
about it.
we didn't get to tangent in the book.
Yeah, we got to tangent after it was over.
So we tangent afterwards.
All the tangents like related to the book.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We are who we are. We can't help it.
Yes, Kasha. As soon as you said we are who we are. Just
The absolute level of rude. I'm glad the weird tangents are enjoyable. Fortunately, there weren't any about dead bodies this time, but you never know.
This has been the most productive stream.
in quite some time, I will say. I feel like probably the first Blood Air was probably productive. We probably had some, but this is probably our first in quite a long time.
Yeah. This is, I would say so for sure. Okay, so what are we doing next? Because I don't...
Dude, on our
end, we said we're going to have on the other ones, we were going to have a break from Morgan, but what were we going to do?
I think we said we were going to do Shifting Shadows. Do we still want to do that?
That's it. It's up to you.
The only reason why I'm hesitant is there's like a huge story about Sam in that.
And you don't want to have to reread
it.
And
it's about Sam and Ariana. And I just want to say, I don't care about how they met.
I'm glad they're happy. I'm glad they're off in Africa.
I genuinely...
I'm glad they're not on page anymore.
And it's honestly, it's most of the book.
We'll work out what we're going to do, but I think what we're doing next is that Jennifer L. and Trout Jenny series, that one Goodreads book of the year or whatever it was.
No.
Which one is that?
Next.
What's it called?
Wait.
Oh, Jenny. Oh, God.
How does this go from so good to just let's talk about Jenny?
Okay,
we can't go from this to Jenny.
It's the Blood and Ash series.
Don't make
Blood and Ash.
So the first book is From Blood and Ash. The second is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and the third is The Crown of Gilded Bones.
Can we just do
it was either the first or second book won an award on Goodreads.
Yes,
but all the ratings are really low, so I'm confused.
What if we just
did
good books?
Yeah, Blood and Ash was Goodreads Choice 2020 winner as 4.3 stars on Goodreads.
Yeah, but
why did you rate
down,
Red Addie?
Huh?
Why did you rate Red Tigress 4 stars?
Because I'm still bitter about book 2 bullshit. Give me a week and I'll be over it, but I'm not over it yet. Just give me a minute to process the fact that she separated Ramson and Anna.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, someone's actually edited their review on from Blood and Ash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just scrolling down to see what the ratio of the page 1 reviews are, and she's done like a 1.5 star rating, right? And she's like, edit. So Goodreads Book Choice Award, is that what it's called, has concluded, and guess which book took first place in the romance category? I'm going to go ask Santa for a new bookshelving website.
All right, so this is what we're doing next. Okay.
Wait. Why does that name sound familiar?
What is this about? What is this?
Yeah, great question. No idea.
Chosen
Okay,
from birth to usher in a new era. Poppy's life has never been her. Oh, this one. Never to be touched, never to be looked upon, never to be spoken to, never to experience pleasure. Oh, God. Okay. Waiting for the day of her ascension. Oh, a capital, by the way, capital ascension. She would rather be with the guards, fighting back the evil that took her family. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Keep going.
Been preparing to be found worthy of the gods, but the choice has never been hers. A duty. The entire kingdom's future rests upon Poppy's shoulders, something she's never even quite sure she wants for herself, because a maiden has a heart and a soul and a longing. And when Hawk, oh no, a golden-eyed guard honor-bound to ensure her ascension enters her life, destiny and duty become tangled with desire and need. He incites her anger, makes her question everything she believes in, and tempts her with the forbidden, a kingdom forsaken by the gods and feared by mortals. A kingdom is rising once more, determined to take back what they believe is theirs through violence and vengeance. And as the shadow of the curse draws closer, the line between what is forbidden and what is right becomes blurred. Poppy is not the only one on the verge of losing her heart and being found unworthy of the gods, but also her life, when every blood-soaked thread that holds her world together begins to unravel, whatever the fuck that means.
Both of these books are over 40 chapters, and they're both dedicated to you, the reader.
Okay, I'm pretty sure. Have I put those on the drive? Yeah.
I haven't.
But the character named Hawk has golden eyes, which I just. But also, I sat there, and the first thing that popped into my head after that was their ship name will be Hawky. How else do you combine Poppy and Hawk? The other one is Pork, but Hawk or Hawky.
You did. They are.
Hawk is a character in Attack on Titan. I'm gonna go be sad in the corner now. My weeb ass is just gonna go be depressed.
But that's what we decided we were going to do after this.
My Dragon Ball Z stamping plates are stuck in Miami in customs. They have been for like 4 days. I'm salty about it. Anyways,
now we know what we're doing next.
You know what? Instead of taking like a break from work, we'll just do this next. We'll just take a double book break from Morganville, and that'll be our break. We'll just do that.
Are you okay with that? Excellent. So we'll have to work out when.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we'll work that out later.
Yeah.
Going back to Jenny.
Yay. No.
Who narrates it?
Oh no.
Blood
and
Ash. Jennifer L. Armentrout, audio. Who narrates it? Okay, Stina Nielsen. Don't know what she's like. I can live with that. I was just worried that she was going to bring Justine back.
Justine.
Chapter 1.
Ken.
Agape move.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not as bad as like Agape move, but it's not good. No.
Let's have a look.
Agape
I'm I'm gonna have a listen.
It's not good.
Okay. The kind of, because you know how like different narrators have, like there's probably a bit less diversity in the feel of the and by feel I mean kind of like I guess general sound in like male narrators' voices, especially in urban fantasy. Like get 15 of them, play them one after the other, you'll think they're all the same guy.
Yeah.
This chick has the same general feel to her voice as Caitlin Davies, but a little bit less obnoxious.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but not fun. I'm not looking forward to it.
If we made it through Caitlin Davies, we made it through Justine Eyre.
Justine Eyre.
We made it through the chick who did I can't even remember her name now, but the chick who did the Dysisters. We made it through them. I think we can.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Also, if we do the Dresden Files, so the first book is from the year 2000, and you can tell that the audiobook was recorded in the year 2000.
Oh, great.
Because they didn't edit out the breathing.
It's not even that difficult. Like, seriously, like, you just you sample a section of it, and then you just click reduce, and it reduces it all.
Was that a is it? Okay, yeah, it's the same guy through like book 17. Wow, there's 17 books.
Oh, I don't want to do 17 books. I say as we're doing Morganville, which is 15.
Okay. Now, by book 17, they have started editing out breathing, so that's good. I don't know when that starts, though. But here's the thing. If they're really good, like maybe, but it's a consideration. Here's the thing. Apparently, this is like the be-all, end-all of like non-smutty urban fantasy.
We'll see.
And we've been told by a bunch of people for years. We've been harassed for years to do these books. And so we would have to definitely sandwich it between a whole bunch of other shit because that's a lot of books. And
okay. So the thing is, though, as well, we'll have to work out, like, if it's good, do we want to do it? And if it's bad, do we want to do it?
I've already got some opinions.
If it's middle, is it worth doing?
I've already got some pretty strong opinions, and my opinion is already kind of that I want to drag Addie into this. If we do it.
You don't want to drag Addie into it, did you say? Or you do?
I do.
Is it worth dragging her in? As we talk about her like she's not here?
I mean, obviously it can be up to her, but
yeah.
But
I'm saying, are they good or bad opinions? I guess is the main thing, because Addie obviously doing this for some good
I'm not that far into it. I'm not that far into it. But I'm really not that far into it. I've got some opinions about maybe about an hour in audio time into it. I've got some opinions, and also it's the first book. I've got some opinions about the main character.
Yeah. We'll see.
And so we'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not uninterested or anything.
And one day, Addie, you will join us for all the books. One day, you will accept the open invitation
to do all of them.
Books we do. But look, if it leaves you just feeling like generally whelmed, I don't think we'll bother.
It's gonna, I'm gonna test the waters, and depending on what I have to say by the end of it, because also if I have a bunch of shit to say and I have nobody to say it to, then I'm dragging everybody into the shit.
Then everyone's involved.
Then everybody's involved. So yeah, we'll definitely see. You can so far my initial impressions are we've been talking about how we want to read an urban fantasy series written by a man. It's interesting to read a male protagonist written by a man.
Yeah, but that would be a big change.
It's a big change for sure. Although that said, my favorite books are written that way. But this is definitely a lot more jarring than those books are.
Yep.
And so I've got some opinions. But I'm an hour in. So like I'm gonna keep it to myself. I will keep all opinions to myself if and when we do book club. Are we ever going to get through our list?
Probably not.
Probably not.
We've got like 80 years.
60. All right, worse.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
And
yes, 60 about.
What do you mean?
And
what do you like? Why are you assuming we're all gonna croak at 86? Like, what the heck? What's wrong with you?
At a certain point, it's gonna.
Were you just gonna No.
Wait.
No.
Can you imagine us sitting here, right? Like in
when we're 86
life,
years
like 80s,
old,
90s. Well, I'll be even older, and we're still talking about YA urban.
we're so House of Nights on its 200th book, and we're all
like,
sitting
no,
here.
We have to get through this list. Okay, the answer is no. We're never going to get through our list.
That's fine.
And I don't care.
Well, because also, I'm not going to lie, like, I feel like our time, like, our availability, like, available times are probably getting less available at the moment.
But that's okay.
I mean, we have times where we can do a lot.
Yeah, like we're going to have an easier time for the next 6 months, so we should take advantage because my daylight savings is about to end. Yours has already started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a much more friendly time frame for us because this has been a almost 3-hour stream, and I still don't have to leave to pick my daughter up from school for a couple hours.
Yeah, we should definitely take advantage of like all the time we have right now because also we're but we're going to be in summer pretty soon.
Yeah, so
which gives us more flexibility.
So it'll mostly be my schedule that we're working around at that point then for the most part then.
Yeah.
At the moment you guys also have, stuff.
You.
Yeah.
School and good stuff like that.
Yeah. But anyway.
We'll work it out.
What we're doing next is Jenny. And then we're gonna finish Morganville. And then I'm reading the Dresden Files right now. And then we're gonna figure out like whether or not that's something we want to tackle because that's like a big fish to fry. That said, like it's not as though House of Night was short, and we've read a really long series before, so
Yeah, but House of Night was so bad that it was so fun.
Yeah, so like if Dresden Files is good, we do need to find really bad books as well, because that was one thing we found when we did like a bunch of Mercy books in a row. We were just like, we need something to bitch about.
We're praising too much.
Yeah, that's the thing. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do, and we need like another House of Night. We need another Lux. We need another Covenant.
Well, we're about to do Jenny, so
yeah, we'll see how this one.
And she's got more
but
books,
the final
so
one's not out yet of this trilogy. The final one.
When is it out?
This year at some point.
Yeah, because that's how I found it. There was an advert, like there was something to do with the new one doing a thing.
So either way,
because it's available for purchase. The third one,
April 20th.
Okay,
Hitler's birthday. Wow.
420. Blaze it.
Bold move. Sorry. I think I released. No, I didn't. I released April 21st.
It's fine.
It's fine. I think your order was April 19th. It's fine. I straddled it. It's all good.
That means you have to release Elder on Hitler's birthday.
No, I do not.
All right. We know what we're doing next. We got our fun side tangents at the end, and we were very productive on the stream.
Yes, we did good. All right, go team. And God damn it!
Just say bye.
Bye.